Misal Khair. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Michael, Brother David Mabior. Hello, Matthew. How are you? I'm doing very well. I hope you're doing good too. It's Saturday. I'm doing good, Matthew. We are alive. We are trying to make it. Hello, Edward. Akhbarak ya akhi. Good to see you, brother. All right, salam alaikum everybody. Good evening and good morning in South Sudan and good morning in the other part of the world. So as you see there, my topic today, I already wrote that topic since morning. That's where I'm gonna go live tonight, concerned citizen of South Sudan, as usual, to talk about very important issues, facing South Sudan. And you can see the topic there. The topic is very much clear. the potential indictment made President Kiir hesitant to accept the lasting peace in South Sudan. Many people may really ask what I'm talking about here. But I'm going to go ahead, and do my talking point and clarify exactly what I'm talking about for those who did not understood my topic. I will repeat it again. The potential indictment made President Kiir hesitant to accept the lasting peace in South Sudan. So I'm going to be speaking regarding that issue today. I'm going to be including President Salva Kiir and those who committed atrocity in South Sudan, including Paul Malone and, and others. 2 segments. I'm also going to talk about the Germany, what happened exactly after the Second World War and the massacre that took place, the atrocity. Okay. Oh, we are back on the scene again. So I'm going to give a little bit background, what happened in Germany exactly. And the link with my topic, potential indictment made President Kiir hesitant to accept the lasting peace in South Sudan. What I mean about that? Okay, we keep hearing, and most of you are aware that last year, there were a first round in Addis Ababa. That included all the stakeholders, the opposition, armed opposition, and unarmed opposition, and the government. They were all in Addis Ababa to negotiate the peace. Thank God they end up negotiating the cessation of hostilities, which is ceasefire, which has been violated multiple times. And from now on, they are going to go back and negotiate the powers and negotiate the system. It might be 3 weeks from now, maybe the end of January or the beginning of February. So, the reason I wanted to talk today, I wanted to bring it to your attention too. Why peace always have a lot of obstacles in South Sudan. Peace have obstacles in South Sudan. In my own opinion, this is an analogy that I have because there is a potential indictment that President Kiir and those who committed atrocity see in the future. For example, the August peace agreement that was signed in 2015 between Riek Machar and Salva Kiir, there's a lot of provision on that peace agreement. Talk about the hybrid court, talk about the court that has to be set up and will address those who committed atrocity during the 2013 massacre in Juba and also in Bor and in Malakal and in war arena. So there is a provision there. And that's why definitely the government violated that peace agreement because they don't want that peace to go through. This is my own analogy. Okay, this is my own analogy. All right. So now, because they see that there is a potential, there will be a persecution. If that peace goes through, if there is a stability and everything went fine, like the way it is, everybody will be, face the judicial for the crime that they have committed. So, but I want to say something here. I want to bring the issue of Malong Awan. Okay. It has link with what happened in Germany. The reason I'm saying that, after this guy, Hitler, killed the Jews, innocent Jews, in Germany, after the Second World War, just because these people, they were rich and they were smart and they were able to save money. This is what happened. After Germany, after Hitler committed suicide when he killed himself, because there's multiple sources indicated that Hitler, after he knew that he's going to face the consequences in Germany, he killed himself. But after he killed himself, there are those generals, those executed his plan, those who were executing his plan. So those generals, they were brought to the book. And most of them, they were indicating that Kuluzod Minum Bugul, no, I did not do this. I was getting orders from the president. I was getting orders from Adolf Hitler. Everybody was saying that. You know, those generals, that's what they were indicating at the court, in the court of justice. But guess what? What happened? The judge asked one question. And I hope some Sudanese who are lawyers will help me understand that a little bit. If they really studied the law and then they understood the concept of the law. So when the judge asked one of the generals that you committed atrocity, you killed people, you killed the Jews with the natural gas that were poured on the train. Why did you do that? So one general actually indicated saying that I was getting orders from the president. I did not do it. But the judge asked a specific question saying that, okay, if someone told you that you have to go and kill the people, and you know that it's wrong to kill a human, to take a human life, would you go and do it? Don't worry about your commander now or the president who gave you, you know, the command, who told you that go and do so and execute his plan. But I'm asking you now, you know, in this court of room, if someone ordered you saying that, hey, go and kill A and B and so and so and so, would you go and do it? The general said, no, I would not do it. And then the judge said, well, it's your fault. It wasn't the president's fault. It wasn't Hitler's fault. Because you agreed to take human life. But you had an opportunity actually to reject it. Because you would have rejected that order. You would have rejected that saying that I cannot go and kill people. Because I know that is wrong. See? So, it didn't help them. So those generals, they were executed under the German laws because they killed people after the World War. You guys are remembering the massacre of Germany when they killed more than 9 million Jews in Germany. So what I'm trying to say here, we have been hearing lately, and I wanted to send a message to General Paul Malone, so-called King Paul. I want to send here a clear message. I think it's better for you, like what they say at the court of the law. It's better for you to remain silent, not to keep jumping from one point to another point. Today you are talking about something. Today you've been talking, because I hear him on the media many times. One day you will be talking saying that, well, I did not do it. I was getting, you know, all this plan from the president. The president was giving me the order so I can do this. The president was giving me orders so I can use the gunship, so I can go and do so and do so and do so. And the other day, he will come and pretend saying that, oh, I am a Dinka hero. Actually, I was doing this to protect Dinka people. See, there is two sides of argument here. So, you either better to stick to one argument Okay? Because when you say that, actually, you are a Dinka hero, or you were protecting Dinka, it means that you were doing this, you were executing the plan, knowingly that this cause is worth it. Because you said that I was protecting people. I was protecting Dinka. That's one point. And then the other point too, when you say that I was executing the plan from the president, that's a different point. So you either stick to your point that the president was giving me the order and I was executing with the president orders. That's what I did. And just become like the other German who were executing the plan from Hitler, because they did not know. And they had an opportunity actually to say, no, I would not do this because this thing is wrong. But you did not reject, all these orders. You execute them because you were obeying to your leader. You were protecting him. You were a protector. That's one side. And the other side, you said I was protecting Dinka, which is I failed to understand from who. Because at the end of the day, the Dinka are the South Sudanese. The Nuer are South Sudanese. The Equatorian are South Sudanese. They are all South Sudanese. So when you say that you are a Dinka hero, I don't get it at all. If we were fighting with the North or with Central Africa Republic or with Congo or with Ethiopia or any other neighboring country or Uganda, I will call you a national hero because you were fighting actually to protect the territory of South Sudan, okay, and the people of South Sudan from the invaders, the enemy coming from outside. But if you are fighting to go and just kill other South Sudanese, whom to be like Dinka, and the Dinka themselves, they were dying, I don't think you are a hero. I don't think you are a national hero. And no one should call you a national hero. And you should not consider yourself as a national hero. You guys get my point? Because you become a hero when you are fighting actually the real enemy. But if you are fighting your own people, if you are killing your own people, there is no point here. And I think we can learn something from Sheikh Abdullah Turabi, the one that declared the jihad during the struggle against South Sudanese. When they declared jihad in 90s, okay, with Saif al-Ubur and Musa al-Khitam and so on, when they tell their young one in northern Sudan, saying that if you go to South Sudan and kill them, you will go to heaven, okay? And these are the key, and they were wearing keys on their neck, actually, if you die, this is your key of, your room, you will go there easily. But at the end of the day, he was deceiving them, actually, so in order to win the war. So these young people, go to South Sudan and fought the South Sudanese, That was the plan, actually. You can call me wrong, whatever you want to call it wrong, John, but this is the reality. This is my own analogy. This is what I know so far. And at the end of the day, in early, not too long ago, when President al-Bashir and Trabi, when they start having misunderstanding, so Trabi actually came out and said that any single one that died in South Sudan on the name of jihad, the one that went there to fight with South Sudanese and died there, actually there is no promise. They will not go to heaven. They die there for nothing. See? You understand my point? That's what it is exactly. So, you cannot just tell me here, you were training those young people, Matianganyor, the innocent one, and some of them actually have been deceived that time that, hey, we have to train you so you can go to mile 14 and protect, the northern border. That's what it is. That's what I know. And you're using them, that there is a danger. There's a people here coming to kill Dinkas. And in reality, no one actually can get rid of Dinka in South Sudan with all these huge numbers. And the Dinka are South Sudanese at the end of the day. Right? So these are 2 points that I wanted to bring out so people can be aware and people should understand. Because these 2 segments are not going to help you, Mr. General Paul Malong. These 2 are not going to help you. So you either stick to the order of your general, of your president, who you were a protector, you were protecting the power, Because you train those army and you call them at the first place, which mean that let us go and protect the president in Dinka. And later they become Matianganyor, right? Whom most of them die in Malakal, whom most of them, Peter Gadet killed them. And now we have families, thousands of families in northern Barkazal. They are still waiting for their loved one to come. And they will never come. Because they have already died there in Malakal. All right? So, you need to understand that either you stick to the point that you were executing the orders of President Kiir, or you pretended that to say, I was protecting Dinka. You wanted to become a Dinka hero. And there is no such a Dinka hero, or a Nuer hero, or a Kakwa hero, or a Choli hero. Nothing, not such like that. Because a hero is the one that defending nation against aggression coming from other country. Not from your own people of South Sudan. Okay? So these are 2 points that I wanted to tell you, because if you are taking the idea that you were taking the order of president, when the justice come, you need to understand that. You need to ask yourself, was it wrong to go and kill somebody? Even though someone told me, someone who is higher, above me, told me that to go and do it. Was it wrong? And if it was wrong, why did I do it? These are questions that you need to ask yourself. You need to come up with good answers. Okay? So, and the other point, because you guys already read my topic. And these 2 things that I'm talking about, actually they are linking to a lasting peace in South Sudan. Because these days, someone who is a dictator in Africa or in South America or anywhere else will stay in power because the power is the only thing that will protect him from the bad thing that he has done. Right? And that's why I was saying here, the potential indictment, which is mean that something to come, made President Kiir hesitant to accept any lasting peace in South Sudan. Because if there isn't lasting peace, okay, and then there will be a court of law, and everyone that committed atrocity, anyone that killed people, will go and face the justice. That's what made them actually, hesitant. That's what made these leaders hesitant. They don't want peace to prevail. They wanted to remain in power until they die. That's what President al-Bashir is doing, because President al-Bashir already has been indicted by ICC. And President al-Bashir actually is not interested of staying power, but he has no any other alternative. He has no any other choice. If he gave up the power today, okay, and then tomorrow whoever will come and lead Sudan, and then there is the order here from International Court of Justice, he will be handed over easily. So the only thing that he needs to do, he has to remain in power in order to protect himself from this very, very, very dangerous situation that is going to occur to him. Okay? It's the same thing. The same thing Charles Taylor of Liberia did. But unfortunately, it didn't work for him. It was captured, it was sent to Hague, and now he's serving 50 years in prison there. It was the same thing Gbagbo of Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, did until the last moment when he was captured under his basement in Dakar, capital of Ivory Coast. It was the same thing Gaddafi did until he died, on the hand of young Libyan. It was the same thing Saddam Hussein have done for years and years and years until it was executed on a televised. So to those who really have a stone heart, they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear the truth. They think what we are saying here in social media is just a made up. They need to know. These are the facts. We are not making anything up. The history repeats itself. Okay? And we always learn from the mistake that happened in the past. And we should not fall the same problem over and over again. Okay? So the lasting peace, it has a lot of obstacles for this reason that I mentioned. People died in Juba under President Kiir. Many people died at the war under Gadit, Peter Gadit, and he's going to face also, even including Riek Machar. No one is immune when it comes to the court of law. Because this is the reality. You commit it, you have to face it. And the only thing that, I hear, the only bravery that I hear about Riek Machar when he came to Salt Lake City, Utah in 2000, I believe it was 15. One vocal South Sudanese from Central Equatoria actually asked him a very, very direct question. He said that there is a provision in the peace agreement that you sign. Anyone that commit atrocity will face the law. Does that include you? And he said, of course, I'm not immune. If I am, I will go there to the court. It doesn't matter. In South Sudan, in Hague, in anywhere, I will go there. Which is a good thing. So, if he see himself that he did not commit an atrocity, he will go there. So, those who think that I'm wrong, those who think that, whatever we are saying here is not true, brother, you need to rethink. Sister, you need to rethink. Because I mentioned Bakhbu, I mentioned Charles Taylor, I mentioned Radovan Karadzic of Bosnia, who served, prison in Hague as well, because of what they have done. Sorry, of Serbia. The guy that killed, many thousands of Bosnians. So the history keep repeating itself. Okay? So these brothers, the one that called himself Dinka Hero, and the one that called himself, he was elected, and he has legitimacy, and he killed people, on the name of power, to remain in power. They will face the consequences if the peace came to South Sudan, and then those who committed atrocity face the justice. So that's why it becomes very difficult for them to let go, because there would be no any other protector. Okay? So from here, I wanted to say a message here. Okay? I already gave you a little bit of Germany. Those generals, they try to defend themselves. They try to say, no, I didn't do it. I was ordered by the president. But it didn't help at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, you know that what is wrong and what is right. Because if someone ordered you to go and kill someone, you should not do it, because you cannot take human life. There is no way whatsoever. Okay? So those generals, they were executed. So I wanted to talk directly to those, the oppositions, the IGAD, the Troika, the international community, the one that are sponsoring the peace talk in Addis Ababa. These are the problems. The one that I mentioned. President Kiir is hesitant from the potential indictment that will come after the peace process. After the peace process, there will be indictment. And that's the truth. He's hesitant because if that peace comes, and then where he's going to go? He wanted to protect himself. It's not about the power anymore now. It's about protecting himself. It's not about power now with Paul Malone. And that's why Paul Malone is not keeping quiet now. One day he wanted to ally with president. One day he wanted to say, oh, I was protecting you guys. One day he's, oh, maybe I will be with the opposition or I'll be with so. Because he wanted to protect himself too. He has sanctions from the United States. He has a lot of now bad record with what had happened in Juba, with what happened in Upper Nile. The same thing to Peter Gadet. The same thing to, those on field there. Right? So it became really, really, really crucial. So what I wanted to say here to stakeholders and the peace sponsors, the Troika, the United States, the UN, the AU, the IGAD, this is the real challenge. And that's why it became more problematic, because the government won't let it go for the reason that I mentioned. unless, which is very difficult, unless there is a consensus has to be reached here. There is a consensus has to be reached here, so President Kiir will have, okay, a promise that if the peace prevails in South Sudan, you will not be persecuted. That's what I see in his mind. That's how I read him right now. That's how I'm reading President Kiir. That's how I'm reading those Kwalmanyang Jok, those generals, those in government, those of Peter Gadet, those who committed really human tragic in South Sudan. This is the way I'm reading them right now. If there is a provision in peace agreement that will be signed, or peace agreement that is going to take place, if there is a provision will say that, okay, whatever happened, it would be let go. Like we lost more than 2.5 million. For the last 22 years, we've been fighting with the North. Okay? And these people, nothing has been done. All right? Nothing has been done. So that's the guarantee that President Kiir is praying for. That's what he's praying for. That's what he wanted to happen. If there is a provision, say that you will be, okay, giving amnesty, okay, and then I think President Kiir is likely to cooperate, is likely to act. That's what sort of thing that I do see here. I could be wrong, but this is the way I'm reading things. I'm a South Sudanese. We know how our people do things, right? This is what's going on with President Kiir. If IGAD and the United States and the Troika and the UN and the AU find a common ground that there will be amnesty to the government or to those who were there and committed all this atrocity, they are likely will cooperate and they will let South Sudan go. That's what I see. That's what I see. But it's going to be so difficult. It's going to be so difficult because someone who committed atrocity and killed people intentionally, how fair it is, it would be let go, to go free. We saw already Charles Taylor was not let go free. We saw Gbagbo of Cote d'Ivoire was not let go free. We saw Radovan Karadzic of Bosnia was not let go free. We saw Saddam Hussein was not let go free. And many, Gaddafi and Abdullah Saleh of Yemen, it was killed, you know, a few weeks ago. So the end of dictator is not good, actually. Any end of dictator is not good. It's not good. And that's why we have been keep crying here on the social media, hey, Mr. President, you know what, you got to do this. Years and years and years. Since the war started, we have been crying, South Sudanese, you know, intellectual South Sudan. They've been crying, they've been talking, they've been giving advice. But they are not listening. And now, it become a very critical time. Because IGAD, Troika, UN, they already, you know, made a decision. With all the oppositions of South Sudan, armed opposition, unarmed opposition, they all agree that there is no way, if there is any interim period, you know, Kiir will lead that interim period. Kiir must go aside, Riek must go aside, and let South Sudanese, you know, decide their destiny because they have failed them for so long. They have killed them for so long. So, brothers and sisters, this is the way I read things, this is the way I see things in South Sudan, and that's what need to be discussed, and that's what need to take place so they can come up with sort of something here, sort of a consensus in South Sudan. Otherwise, it's still going to be difficult. With that, I would like to invite those who wanted to make some comment. Well, I like your comment, Brother Philip. Of course, we have to take South Sudan issue in our shoulder because we care. Because we care. Okay? I know we live in the US, some live in Canada, some live in Australia. Our life is better than those who are in the ground, those who keep running, okay, around South Sudan and in a neighboring country. These are the suffering people. So if we don't care, who is going to care? And as a concerned citizen, I have a voice that raised. I have to speak because I know that it's bugging me so much. And I feel bad about all this thing. You know, if someone doesn't care or you think that he should not take the issue in his shoulder, you are free. But to me, it's so important because I have people there. I have people who are suffering there. And that's why I want to see that country, you know, stable and prosper and people live in peace and stability. Like the peace that we are enjoying here. Right? So anyone want to make comment? It's the time for you. I don't know what you're talking about, John. Hey, John. Okay, I will go ahead and invite you, brother. Unfortunately, Brother Nuri, you need to turn on your video so I can invite you. Without that, I will not be able because right now I'm trying to invite you, but I don't have that option here. Or send me another request. Okay? You have to turn on the video on your phone, Nuri, because when I tried to call you, it's not. Let me do this again. Yeah, let us keep trying. So, of course, brother, you know, that's why we want to interact together here. We can come up with the idea. Do you guys don't? they watching, you know, these people they see. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now you did this. I can add you now.
Work now, huh?
Yeah, it worked very fine. How are you, brother Nuri?
Good, good, good.
Okay.
Now,
well,
the reason I want to
you
comment
saw
on
the
this.
topic and you hear what I said.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
The reason why I want to comment on this is because it is very dangerous, the way we are dealing with the situation in South Sudan. Extremely dangerous.
Okay.
It could actually take us to the dark days of 1994. Because whenever, imagine if there is a very high profile incident that may take place, and God forbid, I don't wish it to happen, then the entire South Sudan would be destroyed. I think we're going to have to pray very hard to make sure that we have wisdom in a way how we can be able to talk about these issues. You see, when you say, I like the question that when you say president must go, and then without a package, are you telling him to leave the country? Are you telling him to, where do you want him to go? And this is an individual who made decision that created so much insecurity on him. Are you sending him to his home? What kind of security are you providing for him? Are you sending him to his village? Are you sending him to his region when his region is not quite happy with him? Where are you sending him? These are the questions that we have not been able to answer. But the question we have been preoccupied with is that president should leave. Are you just dropping him in the middle of somewhere in South Sudan, and then leave him for what? Right? So I think I would be really happy if we focus on the solution, which is, you have said it very beautifully, than focusing on the consequences of the problem. Then focusing on unexplained punishment. Because when you drop him in his village, he's not an ordinary. He would be a receipt for active genocide. It's just the same thing if you attack Malung. Malung would be a receipt for active genocide. You see that? If you take advantage of the situation without a lot of thought, carefulness, that situation, if you're joining any faction and you fight for any faction, are you also aware about your own consequences? If you are not aware about your consequences, then you are naive and you will be putting so many people at risk. So in 1994, there was a peace being negotiated, as you know, being negotiated between the Paul Kagame group.
Brother Nuri, before you proceed, I would like to give an answer. You already say that I'm advising President where to go. You are aware that President has committed atrocity. We all know that. We all know that in the name of the power to stay in the power. He has done so. But for how long? I never advocate for war. Since I start talking on this Facebook, I always say non-violence is the only solution. I never advocate for war. For how long we have been advising President Kiir, to let peace take process. Actually, the peace agreement of 2015 in August, it was a very good peace. If you read it all, you can see it was a very good. But for his own reason, he said that he has some reservation, and he didn't allow that to go through. Right? Now, we better face the reality than saying that, hey, if we said this or if we did this, this thing would happen. South Sudan has been a mess anyway. A lot of things happen in South Sudan. People died, economic downturn. There's a lot of bad things happening in South Sudan. It would not be wise to say that, hey, we cannot advise President, to step aside. When I'm saying that President should step aside, he should step aside and forget about the government, because he was in charge of South Sudanese for 12 years. And what we get out of his presidency, just violence. That's what we got out of it. Okay? So, and now, like I said from the beginning, because I know that why everybody wants to cling to his gun, why they want to stay in power. And I gave you a reason. I gave you example, what happened across. Why a dictator always wanted to remain in power? Because they know what they have done in the past. When they get out, they will be facing the consequences. But you know what? You did it. And you were very courageous to do it. Why not now face the reality? Because you did it. Nobody else did it. When you make a decision, you have to know, the results. And you have to be man enough to stand for your own decision. This is what I'm telling President. Because there is no way here we can, just try to brush it up and say, no, wallahi, we cannot say this. If we say this, we're going to have problem. No, we already had a problem. People have been shot at it. They lied. If you write an article, Isaiah, how it started. How many people in prison? How many people have been shot by unknown gunmen every day? That's an organized thing. That's what I was saying, brother. And I will let you continue.
Yes. So, yes, I agree. I think I listened to you very carefully that you talk about the package, all right? That
yes,
there has to be a package for the
That's
president.
A good point. Yes.
Yes. A package would actually exempt him from the crime that he's committed. That's correct.
Okay, that's what he's looking for right now.
All right. Okay. That package is very important. Your concern is the package is important because you believe that the package can save life.
Can save more life to come.
Yes, can save more life.
If we reach consensus.
And you give example. This is what most rulers who committed atrocities or who made a serious mistake. This is what they will be looking for.
Always.
Yes. And now,
otherwise, if they don't get it, they will commit a suicide like what Adolf Hitler did, because he knew that he's going to face the consequences, and that's why he killed himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, your concern is because if you want to save more life, then you better prepare a package by consensus and leave him and not be able to punish him.
Well, this is not
because if you give him a package, are you giving him?
No. I'm not saying that he should be given a package, but I'm saying this is what he's looking for. Far what we can see, that's what he's looking for, and that's why he's very hesitant to let the peace take place. To let the peace take place every time. Any interim period, he wanted to leave that. Because that's the only way that he can protect himself. But to me, anyone that committed atrocity, like I said from not too long ago, you were man enough to do this, and now you have to face the consequences. Okay.
Okay. Let me tell you this. So that's really leave out with a lot of serious concern, because if you give him a package, maybe. Would it be a package of immunity or a package of exiting, forcing him to get out of power? And then, if you can clarify to me, because I have something important I need to say. If you can clarify this package, is it a package of immunity that he would not be punished, or is it a package to exit from the power?
Well, what I'm saying here, I'm saying that the IGAD, the AU, the all opposition, it's not going to be only President Kiir. He's the one that looking for kind of, deal here. There's others too from rebel sides. Okay. So what I'm saying here, they need to reach a consensus that will let the peace process go through. But I have my own decision. If someone committed atrocity, it will not let go easily. You understand my point?
Okay. So you basically still want accountability, even if you give him a package to exit. Even if you still want accountability, so you can still follow him. You can still follow him, and you can still follow him very fast. If let's say you become a president today, you can still follow him and say, "Well, we just want you to get out of power, but it doesn't mean we will not come up to you." So you can still go up to him.
The justice has to be done.
Okay, good. Now, so we have, this is put us in a very unique position. Now, the package I would be looking for is a package that would not cause escalation of violence on civilians. Now, here is what I'm saying. Here is what I'm saying, because the president actually is ready to go. The president is ready to leave if you can actually tell him that you would be exempted from the criminalities that actually took place with a number of others. So what does that mean? Is that you would give him immunity, that there's no accountability on him. And the reason you would be doing that is because you want to save the 12 billion people from being massacred or from being subjected to pain. That's the reason indictment may not be the first option, but indictment can be used to force to put a pressure so that it can be able to leave the power. That's the tool for the indictment. Now, you don't have to go for an indictment. There is a better way, a very easy way. You can actually do this. The president comes from Barkazal region, all right? Barkazal region, most people would say, is a foundation of the South Sudan in terms of population, all right? Barkazal region is going to experience something quite interesting, something quite shocking. If people in Barkazal region, especially folk from Awil, would be saying that we're no longer safe. We're no longer safe right now because the state is coming after us. So if they are no longer safe, they would be actually interested in somebody who is issuing indictment. And what would be a better way for them to say that if you can issue indictment on the president, then we would be safe, because the president would either do two things, would either respond to the aspiration of the people and respond to respecting the peace, and that would transfer.
Wait a minute, brother. Barghazal population has nothing to do with what had happened. Okay? It's not the atrocity that took place in South Sudan. Okay? There are some generals from Barghazal. There are some generals from Upper Nile. Correct? So population has nothing to do with what happened. So people in Awil, they will not say that, okay, because President Kir now, people are going after him, they are going after people of Awil. There is not such like that, brother. You know, we need to read things right. Okay? So there are generals. Okay, for example, I talk about Paul Malone. Okay, a little earlier, and you understood exactly what I said about him. Okay? President Kir is individuals. Paul Malone is individuals. So when they make a decision, you know, to create a war, you know, it's not a population of Barghazal entirely say that, hey, we are going to create a war and fight. So the population has nothing to do with what these individuals are doing. So there is no fear, actually, you know. And you hear me very well earlier when I was speaking, what I said, you know, about the war. When Paul Malone was advocating, saying that he's the protector of the Dinka, all these things, you hear my voice, actually, what I said.
Okay, right? Here is a solution. I'm interested in the solution. I'm interested in the solution. The reason why I was saying that is because if you created more fear on the population of a specific population within the president region, what does that mean? Those who are being fearful, they would be able to leave. Now, I don't know where they would be going, but they would be leaving. Those in uniform, if you created a fear on them, if they have legitimate reason that their life is in danger, they would be leaving, they would be escaping. Now, if they escape, would they escape and then go where? Would they escape and to engage in self-defense? Would they escape and engage in assault? And we don't know that, but people who would be afraid.
Again, Brother Nuri, I respect you, but you need, you know, to make a distinction here. Population or, you know, just normal soldiers, you cannot just talk about ordinary people. You just talk about those who were in charge of, you know, government affairs. These are the people. So, again, I will repeat my point again. It has nothing to do with the population. Where the population are gonna escape to? Who is gonna drive the population away?
Oh, the war. Right. The war would drive them away, right?
What war are you talking about here?
Okay. Right now, there is a war within the country.
When peace process take place, and then those who committed atrocity, these are the ones that the Ivory Coast would go after them. It's not going to go after the population. You didn't understand my point then, you know.
Okay. Let me say this, and then you will proceed. Let me say this. Now, the peace is not happening because of the president. I told you there is a way. There is an easy way you could actually let the president exit out. Now, that's part of the peace. You want the president to go? There is an easy way you can let the president go. You can let him go by actually putting a pressure on him to leave, or by actually threatening with indictment to leave, or you can do another way. There is another way you can actually let the president leave, because your goal is to let the president go so that you can have a new face that would be able to restore trust and restore a functioning institution and restore accountability within the country. The goal here is to let the president go. Now, you can let the president go in two ways. You can let the African Union and the IGAD and the Troika asking the president to say, you know, it is time for you to excuse yourself. Is that correct?
And that's what they are doing right now.
Yes. Okay, to let the president go. So that's one way you can use. And in fact, there is an article in the AU document that would require AU to respond to that, to ask the president to actually leave. And then IGAD, the African Union would convene IGAD and say, okay, let's team up together so that we can actually ask the president to leave. That's one. Now, when you let the president go, there is a package. That package, you didn't explain whether it's a package of immunity or a package of what. So maybe you will explain later on. But that one way is available. There is another way. Another way you can easily do it without any foreign involvement. You know what that way is? That way is because it will depend on what is happening in the president region. And the people within the president region, intellectual community, and listen carefully, intellectual community, intellectual in Rumbek, intellectual in Awil, intellectual in Kwajuk, intellectual in Wau, intellectual in the president region with military general, they can actually come out within few hours and say, President, we have reached the red line. The red line is because you are in power and the society is breaking apart. Please, can you step aside? The president region can do this without without a lot of hard work from the foreign government. Now, that's the argument I'm interested in, because that argument can happen very peacefully, and it can happen even much sooner than the AU way, than the IGAD way, than the Troika way. Now, I'm surprised that people are not really supporting that one, because there seems to be already a discussion among the intellectual from the president region, military from the president region, who can actually ask the president and say, we love you, you're our son, can you exit from the power and let a new person take over? Now, I would want to hear your thought from that, because this is the easiest way we could have peace, and we could have it within seconds.
You're right. Actually, Brother Nuri, that's you brought a very, very important point, you know. You talk about the indictment, you talk about the troika, you talk about, you know, within. So the problem is, what I do see here, those generals and those intellectuals, they are lacking a sense of nationality. If they do, how many times we have been criticized here speaking on the social media? Some people, they said we have no experience and we are not expert. We are not supposed to be even speaking about this issue. They think they still have the mentality of status quo. That's how Sudan has been in for a long time. If you are not son of Sultan, if you are not son of ambassador, if you have never been with those, you know, whatever, you know, chauvinistic, you know, group, and then you have no way, you know, in the community to come out and speak. But I always make an argument. John Garang was not son of Sultan, or was not son of whoever, you know, that's a big place on the society. So what people are lacking, what the generals are lacking, what intellectuals are lacking, is the sense of nationalism. You already read the comment. Someone was, you know, saying that to me here, hey, brother, you keep talking about this. Why you put the issue of South Sudan in your shoulders? You read that comment, you know? Yeah. And I am someone who is concerned, someone from Awil, son of Awil, who is concerned, who don't want to see the bloodshed all the time. That's why I keep speaking, because we better, you know, to denounce the war, you know, and live in peace and harmony. You're right. You know, the advice that you're giving, that the military wing or the intellectual, they should have that consensus and say, hey, President, you know, it's the time, you know, to save life. But this group who are in power, or those intellectuals, they are competing among themselves. Everybody see that if I'm closer to president, okay, if I'm praising him, tomorrow I'll become a minister, or tomorrow I become so-so, tomorrow I become ambassador. These are the issues that, killing the dream of South Sudan, because people are not getting together to have a consensus because of just self-interest. These are the ones that delaying it.
Now,
we did
the
not
reason
reach
why I
that
say that,
sense of nationalism.
yeah, now you're right, because they have to begin to think about nationalism right now. That would be able to save the nation from the wreckage of this violence. Now, the reason why I say that is because it seemed to me interest is always very important. And the reason the president is in power because of interest. All right. Taban Dengai decided not to go with Riek Machar because of interest. Now, some people would say he decided to remain because of regional interest, and maybe because of national interest, that he would believe that maybe I would be better off maybe staying in Juba, so that the active violence that may be taking place all the time on his region would be able to be mediated if he's in Juba. So I do believe that the intellectual from the president region, they can really make this call within seconds and tell the president, look, we have come to the end of the road. It is time for you. If you do not need any active violence to happen in your region, it is time to exit out peacefully and let a new person take over. This is the reason why they would be doing this. If they can understand the magnitude of a disaster that may be able to happen practically all out in the president region. Why I say that? Because it seems to me community in South Sudan is very powerful. All right, that if the community can actually begin to wake up, communities from the president region, among the intellectual elite and the civil population, and be able to say it is time that we are not going to allow what happened in Afanal to happen in your region. I think the president can exit within few minutes. Because if the whole region team up and say, we're calling you to exit out, they can do this. Now, why would they do this? Because of a potential disaster that may take place in the president region.
Not only the potential disaster will take place, but for national interests, because we're better off being unifying to have economic growth in South Sudan and peace and stability, so we can be like other rest of the world. You brought a very good point that some people in the region or in Upper Nile region, the communities are very powerful. Guess what? Right now, if someone wanted to be appointed, it's likely to ally with its own community. You see, and that's why I support the first round that took place last time in Addis. Actually, those of Dr. Castello, he proposed something actually I was interested in. The thing that he said, they should have the tribal council, South Sudan tribal council. So those intellectuals cannot just run when someone being fired from, his post, cannot just run and go and try to gather all these tribal behind him and cause more problem, and cause more problem and saying, hey, we have been marginalized, we have been so-and-so, and then now he's going to go and cause more problem. So, Brother Nuri, I like your analogy. Thank you so much. Keep doing this. I want to give opportunity for other people. Let's move on. And the message, I think the message that you are saying here is getting there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful analogy from Brother Nuri right there. And you gave very good advice. And that's actually, this is the way intellectuals should talk and should bring up things. Of course, like I said, President Kiir is looking for a package, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. So let's see here who else requested so I can give that opportunity. All right. Let me see here. Okay, Brother Don, I'm calling you right now. Hello.
Hi, Jongkor.
How are you?
Yeah, Happy New
I
Year.
think some people are saying that they don't hear us very well. I don't know what happened. Is the audio okay? Do you hear me very well?
Yeah, I hear you good. Perfect.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
perfect.
just want to check on where and make sure. So you read the topic.
Yeah, I read the topic. Yeah, I read the topic.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was,
So
I
here
was,
we are. Go ahead.
yeah, I was reading an article recently about the crimes that were committed in South Sudan, and they were
Mm-hmm.
saying that if the government is not serious about implementing the hybrid court article of the peace agreement, they will the cases will be referred to the ICC. So Kiir and Riek will be indicted, and other generals who commit crimes against the people of South Sudan. So I've heard about that, but I didn't know about this one exactly. If Kiir was threatened with the indictment if he refuses to sign the agreement, and I never heard that one. But it's probably that's probably the case. Yeah, it's probably the
Yeah,
case.
of course. This is my own analogy, and that's what I see actually. Because giving what I've said, all the dictators, I give a little bit of history of Hitler, and I talk about the Radovan Karadzic, the guy from Bosnia. I talk about in Cote d'Ivoire, Gbagbo. I talk about Charles Taylor. I talk about Saddam Hussein.
Yeah,
Most of those dictators, and I talk about Al Bashir. Al Bashir actually is not interested right now. It's not interesting in power, but he has no way to go. Where he's gonna go? Because today, do you remember? A few years before Trabi died, do you know what he said? He said, "Yahi, just give the power and go to Hague. Go and face the law. Go." He told him that.
yeah,
And who make a military coup? It was the Trabi, right? At the end of the day. So those most dictators, because they know that they have committed, they did a lot of bad things. And then when they are out of power, those ordinary people, okay, they will come forward. He killed my soul, and he killed so, and he killed so. They stake at high, and he will face a lot of challenge. And that's why, in most times, they want to remain in power until they die, because that's the only way that they can protect themselves. And
yeah,
that's why I talk about Paul Malone too, because Paul Malone keep pretending that he was a Dinka hero, but there is no such a Dinka hero or Nuer hero ever.
yeah,
If you fought against Uganda, fought against Sudan, fought against Ethiopia, I will consider you as a national hero.
yeah,
But within the country, if you kill Nuer, you kill, they are South Sudanese. If you kill Dinka, they are South Sudanese. You kill Equatorial, they are South Sudanese. There is no way whatsoever you will call yourself that you are a hero within the country. Now, you see now, Malong has been deposed from his position, and now he start moving around. One day he will say, oh, well, I was executing, the order from the president. And the other day he will say, oh, well, I was protecting people. If I didn't do that, these guys, they were coming, to wipe you out, which are totally lies. They are totally lies. So at the end of the day, this is the fact. President Kiir, he doesn't want to let peace process take place. The agreement of 2015, it was a wonderful one, actually. I read it all. It was good. But because there is a provision there, talk about the hybrid court, and
yeah,
everyone will be, face the consequences. They don't want this to happen. And now they know that they stake are high. They have done so bad. If South Sudan is stable, and then people will go after them.
yeah,
The only thing is to prolong their stay and, buy time and stay there, because they know that another more years, and then if they die the power, okay, khalas, everything is gone. That's the strategy right now. But the Troika, the AU, the opposition, the international community, all these people, they can come up with something that will save more life, something that will get South Sudan out of all this. That's what I'm talking here, because we are reading, clear what's happening in that country.
yeah. People, yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but people want peace. But I believe those countries in the region also have their own agenda, like
Mm-hmm.
Kenya, Uganda, and Ethiopia, because they know South Sudan's potential. South Sudan is rich in resources, has a small population, and it can be a superpower in the region. So South Sudan being unstable and being a dumping ground for their goods, for them to bring their goods and sell them in South Sudan, and we don't produce anything, so they would prefer for South Sudan to be in this situation that it's in now.
That's right. That's right. Well, brother, I really appreciate your contribution and your, coming in today and participate. This is a platform for all South Sudanese. Whatever we are bringing here, it will help. This is a brainstorm. And whatever we are saying here, we are not just wasting time here. We are doing something. I believe that we are doing something in social media. Thank you so much, Don. And I'll go ahead, and bring someone else who is interested, to make some comment. Thank you. Okay, who wanted to come in and and make comment as well? Someone wanted to come in as well? Okay, that's good.
Hello.
Mr. Anuri Abdullah.
Hey, Mr. Khair, do you hear me good?
I hear you very well.
Thank you. That is a good topic, and
Yeah.
I have only like one point in one brother Nuri said and the other brothers. For me, I do believe the situation in South Sudan is to bring someone different. He is not gonna head of G10 or any person who involved in the crisis in 2013.
Correct.
So what we have to do to bring peace in South Sudan is to advocate, to bring someone in the middle who doesn't involve in the crisis in 2013. So I do believe Salva Kiir and his two vice president, former vice president or current vice president, they are not appropriate people now to administrate the country because they failed.
That's right.
And we are in Western countries, and what they're doing when you make big mistake like what they did right now. So why we keeping to forgive those people, and they still refugees, citizens of South Sudan, killing, unknown gunmen, no education, no anything. We want to build the countries and bring peace and reconciliation. That we are looking for, and that's what we are advocate for. So I don't know who the guys who's saying Salva must stay in the power because there is no anybody. I don't think so. They are right. South Sudanese, they have many people, very educated people, but they don't want to involve and for what is going right now. So South Sudanese, they have many educated people around the world, in Africa, in Europe, in United States, Australia, Canada. They have people. They do have people right now. So to make peace in our country, we have to let Mr. President to exit from his chair, and this we want to give him security after he left. Nobody can. We don't want to send him to prison when he leaves the presidency. We don't want to take him to the to court. That's what we're gonna do because we want to bring peace. If we want to take him by force, I don't think so that opportunity is gonna be successful. So I advocate all Sudanese, to support people like Costello Garang and Luc Bion, Francis, or whatever, those people who um, don't part of the crisis in South Sudan. That's what we are looking for. And I'm going to say for Nuri, Salva, he did mistake and he have to go. The same thing with Taban and the same thing with former vice president. I'm not support him to come back again because we don't want what happened in 2013 to come back again to South Sudan. So I do believe there are many people in South Sudan, they can take the place, and we gonna write that down in our constitution, or and we don't want to judge Salva Kiir after he resigned, and we gonna people we can give him power like salary for life, and cars or whatever, and we can build a place for him, he can has a good memory with who they fight with them in the bush. They can get their salary and just stay away from the country. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, Abdullah, Ana Bashkurak, I will thank you, brother, because you make your own, this is your opinion, of course. And I know, like I said from the beginning, the AU, the Troika, the United States, all the opposition, even people within the government, there is a need here to reach a consensus. There is a need here to reach something, to rescue the country. Because when I put that title, this is what I see, giving background, giving what happened, all over the world with the dictator and what I have seen, what I have observed. This is what Salva Kiir needs. Salva Kiir right now, that's what he's looking for. He's looking for an exit without touch. That's what I do see. But it's going to be difficult because when you made a decision as a man, you have to face the consequences of that decision. That's obvious, right? But at the end of the day, it's very hard. But South Sudanese have to reach consensus in order, to save whatever left in this country. Thank you so much, brother. I'm going to go ahead and call another one. I know that you don't support the idea that kids should step down and should be indicted, But the indictment right now, the potential indictment, that's what I put on the topic. That's what Kiir worried about. That's why he doesn't want to leave the power.
I'm support the ideas Kiir has to step down and bring another one to the power. That is my opinion. And I don't have any problem where the region he coming from Upper Nile or from Barghazal or from, Equatoria. We don't have any problem just to be a South Sudanese, and he has a power and he has enough vision to control this country. That's what I'm looking for, because I'm not longer support Salva Kiir, and I will not vote for him, or I will not vote for his former vice president or or Taban. I will not, because all of them they involved in the crisis in 2013. Thank you very much, and God bless you, and God bless people of South Sudan. And what we're doing now is just we want to take the people from the tribalism to go to politics and discuss politics, not to discuss tribalism. That is one problem we face now in South Sudan. What you're doing is very good, and I support your ideas and very much.
Thank you, brother Gara. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and see here. I think brother Michael Ladu has been requesting me. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you in, brother. Let me call you now. Okay. Now I'm calling you Michael Ladu. Michael Ladu, go ahead and answer. Michael, I'm calling you. You see that? Okay. I'm sorry, Michael, I don't know what happened. I'm calling you, but you are not answering. I'm going to try one more time, and then if not, and then I'm going to go with another request here. Is your video on, Michael? There is no answer from you. I'm calling you. It's going through, but you are not answering. Okay. Let me go ahead here and see. Ustaz Agwad.
Yeah, Ustaz.
Hey, I know it's late at the East Coast, but you know what? South Sudan, we can stay awake because of South Sudan. We can stay awake because we need stability in our country.
Yes,
You saw.
I agree. I got you. So
I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
So what is the hell? الهل شنو يا أخوي؟ الهل الجنوبي، الهل السلمي.
Al-Hal is, so you are asking me an Al-Hal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you start. Okay. I read your comment actually, and your comment are really, really good. So Al-Hal, زي ما انت كلمت هناك, actually, مع وجود President Kiir, South Sudan will never see peace. You and me, we know that. South Sudan will never experience peace at all. But then, the only way Brother Nuri Gibel suggested in Masalan, all intellectual, it doesn't have to be from Bar Ghazal region only. All intellectual South Sudanese from Bar Ghazal, from Equatorial, and all these things, they have to reach their consensus. I know people have been talking, but Nehna, especially young intellectuals from our region, they need to step up and say, you need to step aside. I know that. That's why I came up with this topic today. I know that the potential indictment, okay?
Well,
there is a potential indictment. You know, that's what I see. If there is real peace, if the peace takes place in South Sudan, and then they're at Ivory Court, these are the things that President Kiir and Paul Malone and Nasgadid and those in IO and those committed atrocities, these are the ones that they are fearing for. This is what they are fearing for. That's why everybody want to be in the government, so they can protect themselves, brother. You know what happened in the history. I'm not going to go back. Go ahead.
انت يا جونكور.
Yes.
طبعا أنا كشعب جنوب السودان عايزين سلام بكل ثمن.
Of course.
لكن المشكلة الموجود يعني في تدخل الأجنبي الموجود طبعا. لأن في بعض من الأخوة اللي كانوا في الحركة يعني التعامل هم عملوا للرئيس الفقير ده ما تعامل أصلا للصالح، لأن هربنا لفترة طويلة وكل مواطن كل شعب جنوب مات لاجل.
Agwad, I'm sorry, don't go back. You know, we have been talking about all this. We have been talking about all this. We want to focus on this issue right now.
I got you. Okay. So this is my suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
My suggestion is that there is one of the gentlemen who have قالوا المثقفين الجنوبيين they have to work together. So we have to unite جنوبين في الخارج. نعمل مؤتمر كويس نقدر نونس مشاكل ال differences بيناتنا, and also what can we do from there. يعني كل ما نقعد مع بعض أنا متأكد تماما بنقدر نحصل على الحل الكويس. لأن المشكلة كلنا يعني we are divided في القبائل الموجود. يعني كل زول بجيب مع قبيلة بتاعه. And this is what is killing us. So we need to stop that. For us to stop that, we have to have a conference with our diaspora. عشان نقدر نونس. لأن طبعا حكومة أصلا أنا ماشي بطريقة wrong direction. وكمان the same thing my opposition. لأن الموجود الأخوة في المعرض يعني عندهم تعامل مع الأعداء ضد جنوب السودان إذا في شمال السودان ولا في شرق افريقيا ولا في الخارج يعني ده التعامل ده ما كويس. And and I blame always الجماعة اللي كانوا شغالين مع الفقير ناس those who are now not longer in the government because they're supposed to have supported Salva-Kiir to succeed, but they were greedy, including Salva-Kiir himself. What they have done was wrong. Al-Harb, we shouldn't have this war, but they brought this war to us, which is totally not acceptable. But now we are in this war, but we need to get out, my brother. We need to get out by all means possible. But ما نقتل المواطنين الأبرياء على كلام فارغ. أصل الحرب ده في زول مستفيد فيه. No one is benefiting.
So now, I'm sorry, Malish, I'm cutting you. Even though we have disagreement, because when people say that, Kir, Nas Khazolo, Nas Khan Mao, Kir is a Beni Adam. My brother Galina Kir Ran. He's a human being. And if people are not working with you, انت هسه اليوم انت شفت واحد سياسي في جنوب السودان من 2005 لحد 2018 في سياسي قتلوه برصاص؟
ما في.
Okay.
And this is my problem.
That's a good question.
And this is my problem.
ما في سياسي قتلوه برصاص لانه اساسا هم في كلام انا كلمته قبل كده. They don't want to die. They don't want to die. They want to live. They want to enjoy. They want to have money. They want to have all these things. You cannot say that Kir Nazal Mao, whom Asadan they are all agree, they want to main power. Okay? As the Ektarab Batam Junubuka fi power. Because Mazan Zol Lemacha Gat Katir, Lanukulu Zul Day. So Kir, Bimkanin Mazan Khan, yes, Taim, be young intellectual, Nazar Derim Belim Chikidam. Lakin Kir Asadan is not showing that interest. He's not showing that interest. So how are you going to say that this guy is good? How good it is?
No, what I was saying is that, who was Al Jamal Khan Shagali Mao, they did not treat them, the way they're supposed to treat their superior. But, we cannot blame that on them because now they are no longer in the government. But Kumal Salva-Kiir at this time, Magdir, to unite people of South Sudan, Zimmed Tar Taban Zaman, Garang Kan Makroh, Manjuzman al Matamrin Kan Zaman Harka, Garang Joe, Jalo, Joe Salva-Kiir folk, not cool, they were united against Salva-Kiir. So, if Salva-Kiir is the problem, that the peace cannot come, we can work together as people of South Sudan, and we have to go for the election, and we have to kick him out. We will take him out through the election. Because as long as Salva-Kiir is going to be the president, I am sure peace will be in Sudan. Lana, Salva-Kiir baga makro. So, as long, now, because he's been hated by all the South Sudanese people, Al-Gabel Mawjud, then it is good for us to find a way out. Election is a who mother من السلطة نقول يا brother الناس اللي بيمروا دول ده ما سالب تايزول إذا أنت ما داير تطلع من الحكومة through the election and then now you are something different so we need to find a way to get, yes.
So good, you make me laugh. Why you make me laugh? There is no election, and you know that, brother. Violation with that ethic, violation to process. Kir bada min 2012. Lama rasalu nas fi ground, lama rasalu nas fi Greater Bargazal wa Upper Nile fi shunu. Umashi amul assessment. Rasalu nas mashi amul assessment ashan yishubu grassroots how SPLM is doing. Nas job rasail, job report in masalan. People actually don't like you because you didn't deliver anything, you didn't do anything. Okay, so from that point, you know that you're supposed to learn. You're supposed to learn from that point. Kir is skipping the process that's supposed to take place within the party. He skipped the political bureau and he went to National Liberation Council. Ashan he want to maintain power. He knows fair election within Lo convention within the SPLM party. He's not gonna win. He's not gonna win. So there is no good face here. Kir has shown good face. He doesn't want to. Lani Kir believes that. Yakan harap to 21 years. No. You see, that's what I'm saying. That I lost faith.
I think he has made, even though whether it was good or bad, he has made a step forward that will be able to take him out. The removal recently, Zolo Chela Baradak, that guy was the only man who was standing with him, who was using the people for the benefit of him and Salva Kiir. So now, this is the right direction. Today is a free election, brother. The former Nazam Barkazal, Salva Kiir will not win even 20%. He will not get that. So أصلاً في خطوة يعني في خطوات خطورة جدا إذا في انتخابات Salva Kiir will be voted out 100% because الناس كلها طبعا we are sick and tired of المود يعني الحكومة الجنوب بيقول ما الناس يموتوا لكن the decision they are making every day are killing people لأن they are using the system بتاع encounter insurgency يعني كله قبيلة ضد قبيلة كله طائفة ضد طائفة وده كلام ما ده حركات بتاع عمر بشير وده حركات yeah
في كلام انت قلت كده في show I don't know in what show شوفها حاجة اللي أنا عارف there is no difference between those who are talking about South Sudan إنه مثلا في كده وفي كده وفي كده and keep they have the same عشان كده أنا سألتك سؤال واحد قبل أنا قلت لك since 2005 ما في politician مات في South Sudan politician ما في كلهم الناس المساكين يا أبو موتوا because they cause problem and they distract مساكين عشان to stay in power okay شوف because they feel that they are entitled to money, they are entitled to land, they are entitled to everything. شوف ناس ديل ما بيسكن مش يدينوا مثلا ناس ديل عندهم طمع عندهم greedy ما بيسكن في بيوت they don't in Juba they don't sleep in the houses they sleep in the hotel on the expenses of what on the expenses of government you have to pay their food you have to pay their cars you have to pay their drivers you have to pay their wine you have to pay their living ده كلام بيحصل في أتوميل لأنهم بيقولوا شنو بيقولوا it's the time for them to enjoy so الناس دي الناس بينفعوا
no
supervisor بتاع الناس دي and he is not taking action for 12 years do you think this guy can be good I know you're right you agree with 100% in كير ما بيصلح لكن right now سبب أنا بشوف كير ما داير عشان مثلا سلام يجي لأنه هو خايف من indictment لكن كلام قبل أنت قلت ده all intellectual كلام البرادر قال ده intellectual بتاعنا بتاع باركزال okay بتاع مدينة أولتا وين ده ناس كان واقفين ورا كير والنازل في أبناء these people they need to come to their senses and go enough is enough I know that Troika United States all these countries now they said ما دارين react في interim period ما دارين كيف في interim period دارين زول نظيف
ما انت يا brother Jongkor the Western countries they don't want peace في جنوب السودان عايزين جنوب يكون في الحرب لأن كل ما يكون حرب موجود كل ما يكون في حرب ما يكون في حرب يعني بيستفيدوا كتير they will benefit from our oil from our diamond تعرف في كلام دين بول جاب قبيل قال له الرؤساء بتاعتنا يعني including vice president number 2 قال ماشي في نيجيريا زمان ماشي رجع للزول بيقولوا بشاري ده لبشاري ماشي رجع للزول يا جماعة الرؤساء بتاعنا دول خلاص the way I see it they are out of sight يعني كله يعني زي هم يعني القلبوا على these purposes بتاع doom days إذا معناه they are out of topic so يعني الحل السلمي يا برادر كل المواطن الجنوبي المثقفين في كل الخارج وفي داخل افريقيا وين لازم نقول مع بعض نقول الكلام ده بلد لان الجماعه دول الطريقه اللي كانوا نشوف دول دارين ياكلوا بلد بس ما دارين سلام مثلا كلهم مع بعض يعني بعد شويه بيشاكلوا بعد ما يخش في حكومه باكل بلد ويقتلوا الناس على يسمونه سو الكلام ده يا برادر اننا كمواطنين جنوب السودان we must find a way to communicate we must find a way to have a conference أتى في الخارج يعني شوف الدولة الإسرائيلية يعني بقى قوة كيف ما زمان وقد طلع دولتهم يعني جاب الناس في الدياسبرا لكن حكومتنا ما ده كلام زي ده يعني بيشوفوا إذا جاب ناس الدياسبرا بعد شوية زار بيشيلوا من الحكومة so what is the problem هم جابوا they liberate the country that's enough they have brought the country it does not mean that if they have liberated the country now they can be able to eat it and start killing people this is not acceptable we don't want this and we want to stop this war by all means يعني كل for us to stop this war يا أخوي لازم نقول مع بعض كشعب الجنوب السودان المثقفين من كل قبيلة لأن قبل ده أصلا يعني الحكومة تستفيد كتير. كل ما نشاكل لأجل القبيلة الحكومة باكل البلد وحكومة بقتل المواطنين. أنا بقول لك I don't want to kill, I don't want people to die, and then people are dying every day. People قاعدين يموت من الجوع من الأمراض ومن المشاكل الماء مطلع issue. هذا الشوب الموضوع بتاع أجار بتاع former leg state. They've been bringing the same guy ماتوري شود بيجيبوا للأجار وأجار ما دايرينه. نفس the same scenario كان عمله زمان في أول. So كلام ده يا brother أنا متأكد تماما حكومة أنا ده في ناس كعبين ما دايرين عشان يطلعوا من السلطة دايرين يكون بلد ودايرين يكون قاعدين والموضوع يموت على كسارة. كلام ده ما ينفع. So we must unite كجنوبين في الخارج وفي شرق أفريقيا وفي Middle East. We must find a way to have a conference and we will find the money. لازم نقول مع بعض and we will have to find money. إذا أنت قاعد تشتري مريض $100 في شهر $100 بتاع brother أدينا give us this $100 so we can be able to fund a conference for diaspora. So we can talk. If we can be able to communicate, we will reconcile كناس مثقفين and then we will move for the right direction. We will give up the Akuma, we will give up the rebellion, we give up the government, and we will stand as people of Geneva Sudan, ordinary citizens of South Sudan. That's legal wahed, that's legal sa. Lakini na nagima wara Akuma barsho bdig meeting $20 takuri fi jeb tazoile mara jadid wala takana ifa al-mawdhi muru de la brea. So I agree with the Uber have said that the diaspora have to sit and communicate. The kalamsa ma drule kunas fi America ukana wa Israel Europe. Another fish Africa that they are sick and tired of this. Another fi Middle East they are sick and as banab dana bunya kamu saga de anas banab dana bug sharamit. Lakin azin sharamada lakin ma den yakulu.
They don't have choice. Ma fi choice. So they react.
Yes.
حتى ده ما قطع كلامك وانا بعد كده بديك مثلا maybe 1 minute ما قطع كلامك. حتى الناس اصل في جوبا يا برادر قوت يعني مثلا بتلقى الزول مثلا وزير ولا زول مثلا دايركتور وهو عنده قروش يعني مثلا بيجي بيلعب بمناطق صغار يعني حاجه كان ما في الكالتشر بتاعنا والبيدا الصغير ده it's not because actually he loved the guy but because he want to live there ياكل. That's what it is. That's why they accept that.
Brother
what kind of life
Jongkor أنا شاهدت كلام أنا as a brother and I always cry. And one time when I was in Juba أنا في واحدة طبعا you know she was crying أنا قلت له يا أخي why you cry؟ قال لي كل يوم أنا قوم 3 صباح عشان ينقل في الصرافة عشان أنت تنتظر عشان يلقوا $100. قال لي يا أخي قال أبوي مات في الحرب أبوي قتل له يعني أبوه من المور أبوه قتل له يعني بعد شو ذات أمه ما في واخوانه الصغار يعني she's going يعني 3 صباحا يعني بدي قاعد اقوم من جبل دينجا ولا جبل كجور عشان يجي يقعد بالصرافه عشان ينتظر الساعه 8 الصباح عشان يبدأ you know يعني يا جماعه ده بلد شنو اننا شاكلنا عشان بلدنا عشان يكون بطريقه زي الاطفال بتاع الشهداء عشان يتعب في الطريق زي ده واباته مر لاجل الوطن يا brother جونكور brother we must unite as brothers and sisters كل القبائل الموجود في جنوب السودان and we have to support the election. إذا ما في election we will find a way out. لأن ما ممكن نقول as me I've been supporting the government for a very long time. I'm still supporting the government until today, but we have to change the direction. We have to change the way we treat each other.
They don't care, brother. Your support is going for nothing, brother. لأنه they don't care. They don't care. Even though those who supporting them زول البنجي بيحارب من أجله. يا هم ده قاعدين يشهدوا يا هم ده نسوان بيشهدوا يا هو يالهم بموتهم ويا هم ده ما بلقى مرتب for 9 months.
كلامك
you know
so انت افتكر as today زي ما شد as جنوب السودان انا في زول ممكن يقتلوني على كساره انا اقول اوه انا حكومه يكون ناس متمردين you know
exactly.
I'll be the big target so لازم نلقى لنا الطريقه الصح عشان كجنوبيين نونس كلام ده بلد لان الناس بيقولوا قال جماعه قال شاكلوا لاجل الوطن طلع البلد ما طلعوا يا اخي ده مشكله ما قال you bring the country ما نحن كلنا شاكلنا
كلنا ما طلعناه
كلنا شاكلنا يا اخي
a good kalam biga tamam. I don't want just make it between me and you. I wanna let other South Sudanese too participate. Lana de bukun koi zaman kulan nakun participate.
Yes, yes,
Thank you, brother. Lanu, I know that it's late. Lakin inta gidirta gom min no tagda tisharak udgadim kalam bitak. I really appreciate you, brother. You know.
Go man nimshi taban. You know, ya jama kada let us try to unite based on our cultural heritage. You know, ka mawtinin, you know, ka own the citizen ta Junub Sudan. Man keri gavaliya. Gavaliya na shiro barra khalas. Well, you know, instead for us to insult the government, let us try to find a way out first. We have to find a way out. عشان نقدر نجيب أنفسنا مع بعض. لأن في النهاية ما عايزين جنوب يكون خربان، عايزين جنوب يكون كويس. حتى الناس في الحكومة ما دايرين مشان نشيلهم برا بطريقة استفزازي، عايزين نشيلهم برا بطريقة سلمي. لكن إذا
And that's what we are saying. And now, good, by the way. So criticizing somebody for the wrong thing that they are doing is not an insult. This is what I've been saying. يعني انت لما تقول يا اخي الحكومه بتاعنا ما قاعد يعمل كويس وما عمل كده وما عمل كده انت بتقتل المواطنين انت بتقبض ناس. This actually is not an insult. Actually, you are telling them you are doing wrong thing and you should stop. Okay. That's what other people need to understand. You know? But people sometimes they don't understand. We don't.
قبل ما نمشي طبعا في دول سالني بجاي قال المصير الجابر قال سؤال الى قوت قال هل انت تحب السلام اذا نعم كيف يتم السلام زول سالني سؤال باللغه العربيه يا مصير انا بحب السلام كمواطن جنوبي يعني اذا في طريقه اننا كمواطنين جنوب السودان نقدر مع بعض نجيب سلام اهم حاجه من كل مشاكل سو ده انسر بتاعي لزول يا اخوي ده So يا جونكور بشكرك شديد لكن يا جماعة let us try to work for the best interest of our country. We have to let us agree بأننا نحن جنوبيين ونحن ما دينكا ولا نوير ولا دون ولا وين مهم نحن جنوبيين كجنوب موضوع جنوب السودان نحن شغل يا أجل الوطن وطن أنت كل بخرطوم ولا بوين نحن كل ساهمنا من الحرب ده المهم
So the gutter ظاهر. Okay, thank you. Okay, ده brother Wood طبعا كلمات يتكلم كويس داير وحدة بتاعتنا نحن كجنوبيين عشان مثلا يكون في حاجة كويس. That's the good thing. You know, we need to focus more. We need to talk about this. كلام ده نيوم داك شوف قبل سنين ناس ما بيتكلم now more people talking. وبعدين analogy اللي أنا وريتكم قبل it didn't come from nowhere. ما جاء بس من فراغ. جاء من قراءات واقعية للthing that has happened in the past. حاجات اللي حصل في التاريخ وحاجات اللي شفناه وشفنا الأنظمة الدكتاتورية عملت شنو ونتيجتها شنو. أي زول يجي ترد بالقوة، أي زول مثلا يجي يقبضوا، أي زول مثلا يحصل له حاجة وأنت شفنا نميرة ما كان في زول بيعرف إنه يمشي من السودان. نميرة زمان بيقولوا قال له نميرة ماشي ما في زول ثاني زي نميرة. How many people come after نميرة؟ سوار الزاب كم؟ صادق ماري كم؟ البشير كم وهو اللي عمل مسألة البلد. So ناس قاعدين دائما لكن لما تقول قال انا ما في زول بديل ولا زول له وزول له that's nonsense, you know. So I'm going to go ahead here and see call other brothers so they can participate. I think let me see brother attack. Okay, I'm calling you now. Rafael, I'm calling you because you requested for so long. Would you please answer Rafael? Rafael attack. And then I'm still looking for Michael Lado too because he was here and requested, but unfortunately he's no longer here. So Rafael, I'm calling you. Would you please answer? Okay, it looks like there is no answer to Rafael. Okay, no problem. Okay, Charles, I'm going to go ahead and call you to get your perspective. I know, I know. Just go ahead and answer, please. Ya Jama. Okay, that's good.
انت كده شايفني كده كويس؟
يا أنا شايفك أنا شايفك.
مساء الخير.
مساء النور brother Charles.
انا ما اعرف السكجول بتاعنا كيف يا انت عارف جنوب
أنا خدت
يعني
عنوان هناك actually.
يا بعد أننا عارفين الحاصل كله يعني كيف يعني الغادة بتاعنا الكبار حسي الليدرز بتاعنا ديل يعني هنا كيف نوصل لهم مسج بتاعنا على اساس هم يعرفوا السيستم بتاعهم ده ما مودين اي محل. هنا جنوبين ما خالص ما مودين اي محل. ده انا يعني ده اللي انا بقوله على انا حاسبه وانا شايف يعني هم ما شايلين اي محل خالص. ما هيشيلونا في اي محل. يعني بيعملوا ديل مع عرب بيندحرنا وبنعرف. انا بشتغل بترول مجال بتاعي بترول يعني I got burned down لما نشوف أن هنا حاربنا مع عرب كم سنين. جنوبين تاني الليدر بتاعنا بيمشوا بيعملوا ديل مع عرب. يعني ناس ديل بصراحة كده يا أخوي أنا ما أعرف يعني جاتوا مسج كيف وصلوه كان لمونجان في أمينة. I love مونجان أنا ما عندي قصد ماي مونجان خالص كله لكن لجين كانسلا عشان نعرف يقول السيستم بتاعكم ده is not working. بس لو هم شايفين في ناس تانيين هم يعني هم دايرين يعني خلي الجنگ ده يكون قاعد خليه يبدلوا شنو بجنگ الفاهم الناس اللي عارفين سيستم بتاع العالم ماشي كيف. لان احنا عاوزين نطور بلدنا عاوزين نمشي لقدام ما عاوزين نمشي لورا ل 200. ده هو كلامي كله ده نقول اخوي.
يا كلام بتاعك كويس brother Charles. لكن in response actually جين كانسل ده الناس دايرين ياكلوا ساكت. هم ذاته ولا كيردار شغال بحاجاتهم ولا هم ذات شغالين بحاجات كير. لأن أساسا it's all about getting in and get what you need. عشان كده أنا قاعد أقول كيرنا لما الناس في ناس بيقولوا قال كيرنا كويس وكيرنا ما أعرف وكيرنا ناس حاولوا ما في حاجة اسمه قال زول كويس وناس الحاولوا ما في حاجة. لأن أنت أساسا أنت your reputation دائما you the one that control it. okay موضوع ده we agree 100%. الناس اللي قاعدين الناس دايرين ياكلوا بس كان جين كانسل ولا منو ما في زول عنده تاثير هناك. اي زول بيعمل اي حاجه في راسه to get what they need. That's what it is. So محور النقاش بتاعنا اصلا brother Charles اليوم انا عارف why كير is dancing around ليه ما داير اساسا to accept سلام. لان اساسا he committed a lot of atrocity. عمل حاجات بطال وحاجات البطال انه في استقرار في جنوب السودان اللي في سلام. اوكي في consequences في hybrid court اتفاق السلام بتاع 2015 it was good. لكن في provision هناك عشان كده قالوا عنده reservation لانه اساسا he knows what he has done. القاده في الجيش ولا كان في معارض ولا كان وين الناس اللي عملوا حاجات بطاله they will face the consequences. عشان كده الناس اللي اساسا they are fear of indictment بعد السلام. That's why السلام فيها مشكله. ففي اعراض قبل بيقول عشان نعمل سلام we should get a package عشان يقدر يدي مجال لجنوب السودان الناس يعملوا سلام. فاي دونت نو رايك في موضوع مثلا لانه كير اساسا بقى في عمل الواقع بقى مع نفسه. لكن his fear is on لان اساسا power is the only thing that protected him. لكن لو بقى ما في power okay and then the justice will go after him. So what do you think? your الموضوع بتاع باكج الناس كانوا يتكلموا فيه في بلده انه مثلا كير يعني يقدر يخلينا ويخلوها كده يمشي عشان يقدر يخلي هنا ده عشان يخلي سلام يجي جنوب السودان. what is your opinion on that?
Well, opinion بتاعي كالاتي لو كير الليلة قال يا جنوب السودانيين يا جنوبين أنا متنازل كير أنا متأكد هو يعني هيلقى support من جميع الجنوبيين وهيكون محترم وهيكون معزز في جنوب السودان كله. اني تايم هو بيقول يا شاب انا ده نجي نتكلم في تلفزيون بيرحبوا به يعني بيكون يعني لانه هو شنو هو يعني اتنازل ادى تشانس لكن لو شالوه بفورس زي ما حصل لجومو في زامبيا وقوى راسه ما قدر يطلع. جا حصل شنو في النهايه مش براو سرندا يا هو يا بولت يا هو ماشي في السجن for a long time. بعد انا بشوف هو هسه هو تنازل بس يتنازل من حكم وبيكون يعني فعلا يعني هو يعني
بكون في
يعني هو
عفو.
بيكون يعني بيكون يعني هاي زي دكتور قرن في قيمة بتاع دكتور قرن.
يا
يا
فكرتك وصل يا برادر، فكرتك وصل. يعني انت في رايك
انا
انه مثلا
بتكلم
لو
كده.
كير اتنازل وخلى سلام تيك بليس، يعني انت you are willing انه مثلا يخلوه وناس ما يمشي after him. that's
هاي
اوكي.
هاي
انا بشكرك برادر لمشاركتك. طبعا الناس ثانيين عندهم different opinion، انا عندي different opinion لانه انا زول committed atrocity
هاي
and we
yeah
have other ways, you know. So thank you so much for participating. انت قدرت مثلا تشارك بالصوت بتاعك. I'm gonna go ahead and give other opportunity لجنوبين ثانيين عشان يشاركوا. شكرا.
اوكي براين ما في مشكلة.
Okay. All right, let me see here who else requested. So please, if you wanted to make a comment, requested me. I know I have some people requested here, but it looked like they are no longer there. Okay, let me see here. And the good thing actually, I'm on the talk del yom. Now it's daylight in South Sudan. People actually are watching. Government is watching. I know they have been watching us lately, you know, a lot. So let me go ahead and bring you here. Nyayan, if you are there, I'm going to go ahead and call you. Oh, your camera is not accepted. Would you please turn on your camera? Turn it on or request me again so I can see it right away and then call you. I call everybody, whether you are a government supporter, you are whatever, you know, we call you. لأنه حاجة ده member عام لكل الجنوبيين السودانيين. Hello.
هاي
تسمعني؟
معك يا باشا.
عليكم السلام.
كيفكم؟
الحمد لله، يفضل.
والله شكرا جزيلا أوي بوقف زي ده أخوي.
أنت
يعني
وين؟
طبعا
أنت قاعد في أتوهيتا؟
ها؟
أنت وين في أتوهيتا؟ متصل إن شاء
أنا
الله.
في ماليزيا.
Okay, that's good. هذا كويس،
أنا في
تفضل.
ماليزيا. يعني شكرا بزمن أنت عدينا له ده. يعني طبعا بقول كلام بيصير لجنوبين لشعب الجنوب السودان. يعني طبعا ناس في بلدنا ده خرب. يعني خرب بين نفرين. لكن هنا الناس مساكين ديل الطلبة ديل. وشعب الجنوب السودان ما عندنا هي قصة ولا زول.
نعم.
طلعنا عربي، طلعنا جنوب ده اخوانا، طلعنا جنوب ده عشان نعيش فيه.
Yes.
لكن هسه في جوبا هنا قتلوك ساكت. لو انت سبيليان، لو انت ما عسكري، بسالوك انت من وين. ما كلام زي ده ما ممكن يا اخوانا. هسه نقول لشعب جنوب السودان نكون مع بعض نعيش سوا. لكن باقي الناس بيقولوا جان كانسل ديل ونورويو ديل وحاجات ديل، تخلوا ديل طماعين دايرين ياكل بس. هسه زي بلد هنا قاعدين فيه هسه ده جرنا فيه ده عشان شنو؟ عشان حرب هناك. يعني زول يمشي يموت في مكان ثاني ما ممكن. زمننا ده بيكون زمننا كان. هسه لو تمشي في زي خرطوم في اي مكان، هسه دفعنا حقنا اساسا عنده عربات وعنده بيوت ومرتاحين. لكن هسه دم حقنا بقى خاشي تايد، بقتلوا عوام سايكل وما
Okay.
عندك
Yeah,
ما عندك
brother, أنت قلت اسمك منو تاني again؟ أنت قلت اسمك منو again؟
انا اسمي شوماني.
يا شوماني. سو كلام اللي انا داير اقول لك طبعا انت زي ما قريت توبيك بتاعنا الليله انا قاعدين نتكلم بنقول يا اخي الناس ديل ما دايرين يدي مجال للسلام لانه هم عملوا حاجات بطال وحاجات بطاله اللي عملوها دي لو سلام جاء القانون هيمشي وراهم فهم خايفين من القانون عشان كده ما دايرين يدوا سلام ما دايرين يدوا مجال للسلام فانت رايك شنو عشان كده انا قاعد اقول شو رايك شنو لو ناس ديل مثلا قبلوا لو هم قبلوا
اي كلام
لا انا اساسا حاجه انا شايف بس هم دايرين يقولوا شنو يا جماعه اننا سيبونا ونحن نخليكم تعملوا سلام انت رايك شنو لو نازل قبلوا قال يا اخي خلي سلام يجي الناس اننا نمشي وراهم ولا نسيبهم
لا اخوانا صغارين ديل يعني ناس
السودان
القنيانين
نمشي وراهم لازم يحكمهم دي حاجات بطلع عملوا ده ولا ما يحكمهم في رايك
اي والله كلامك صح لكن انا دين اقول عليك يا باشا يعني هسه انا مقصود يعني مشكلة هسه يكون لبنات الصغارين ديل يعني اخوانا الجاني ورانا ديل عمره 9 سنة 15 سنة يعني الناس القنيانين ديل قاعدين يلعبوا في جوبا هناك يعني واحد داير يمشي جاسف كده بيشيلوه ساكت يعني
انت فهمت
بينفخوه
السؤال بتاعي انت فهمت السؤال بتاعي
لا ما فهمت كويس قبل انا قاعد برا لكن انا هسه قاعد في جوا ترين
اوكي
ماشي
السؤال بتاعي انا قاعد اقول شنو انا قاعد اقول انا عارف نزل في حكومه والناس تعنين في معارضه هم بيشوفوا مثلا اوكي لو عفوهم لو سلام جاء وعفوهم ممكن يدي مجال للسلام انت رايك لو سلام جاء نحن نشيلهم نودهم سجون ولا يخلوهم
كلامك صح صح والله
الو الظاهر انه انترنت is not cooperating with brother there in Malaysia so معلش لو شبكته يشتغل كويس بعدين ممكن نرجعه تاني خلينا نمشي لناس تانيين ان شاء الله. Okay, let me check here. Okay, yeah, brother Malit. Now today, you know what? And then I'm نغرق in في بحر ignorant. We don't want to be that that way, because South Sudan, whether you bear arm to go and fight on the bush, or you were in the city, or you run to the neighboring country, all South Sudanese are contributed. All South Sudanese are contributed. حتى الشعب حتى الشعب انتوا شايفين في البلد ده, they used to carry the ammunition in their head, to deliver it to the SPLM. They were giving their goat, their cow, all these things. And now they have been ignored. Nothing is happening to them. So the notion that, people keep saying that, oh, you guys don't have an idea, we've been fighting, we were in bush and all this. There were values actually South Sudanese were fighting for. Whether, you were in bush or whatever. The values were to bring justice and liberty and prosperity to South Sudan. That's why we are fighting, right? And like what I hear Dr. Jongkor said, if you fought today and you go and do the same thing that enemy was doing, and then there is no meaning that we were fighting. So please, we need to get out of this, ignorance life, because you know much better. You know much better. What the government is doing, what they are doing is totally wrong. You cannot just feel emotion to support someone because you are related, because it's from your region, or because of your tribe. It's not going to take you anywhere. It's not going to take you anywhere. All this country, all over the world, they came to their senses. At the end of the day, we are one people. But the language that you're saying that, hey, you guys have no idea how we were fighting. So if you fought and then other people didn't fight, so then you need to be in charge of everything, to be entitled to everything. That's what you want. That's what you want to tell me? And what kind of value are that? That's what kind of value exactly you believe in? You know, what kind of value you believe in then? Please don't embarrass yourself. You better speak someone who loves South Sudan, someone who is nationalist, because that's kind of, you know, a statement is not taking us anywhere, because people have been singing this for so long. We've been fighting. We fought for it. We did this. Do you know what? Those who went to Bush, they are not the only one that contributed. We voted. We wrote cases. Okay? We advocate in the West. We did a lot. Some give speeches, you know. So please, we don't want to go down there. You know, we need to talk things that will bring us all together as South Sudanese. You know, the notion that, oh, we are the one that died in big number, we've been there, we did this. This is Afkar Raja'iyya, you know. You need to rise beyond all these things. Leave, please, your own interests and come to the national level and believe in South Sudan. Not believe in yourself, not believe in your tribe, not believe in your chauvinistic, you know, mentality, you know. This tiny, you know, close-minded, denounce it and believe in bigger picture South Sudan. That's what's going to help. That's what's going to bring us out of all this mess. But the notion that, oh, I fought for this and I was in the bush and I was... No. You didn't do this just to come and praise yourself. You did this because you were proud and you were volunteer because of what you have seen. It was wrong. Oppressors were doing something wrong. That's why you fought. You didn't fight so you can be rewarded later. That's what you're telling me here. You know, it's so sad. I hope you can arise beyond all this. Arise beyond this. Let me go ahead and give another chance here. I hope we can speak, you know, the language, you know, that will the word that will unite, not will divide. This is what we want, you know. South Sudan is a home for all of us. It's not home for those who went to the bush only. It's not home for those who are in the power. It's not home for the Dinka only. It's not home for the Nuer. It's not home for Shuluk. It's not home for Anuak only. It's home for South Sudanese. That's what we need to have. These are the value, you know. That's what we need to have. Okay? So I'm calling you, brother. Please, would you answer? And by the way, Arabic is a language. Like you learn English. English is not even your language. You have your own language. And all these languages are the third or the second or the fourth language that we have learned. So if someone speaks Arabic, nothing wrong with it. If someone speaks English, nothing wrong with it. If someone speaks Swahili, nothing wrong with it. People need to understand. I know in South Sudan we have wrong concept. Some people think sometimes people who speak, you know, Arabic, they have an Arab culture mentality, but that's totally wrong. So when you speak English, are you really in the tribal in English in England? You are not. You just speaking the language. When you speak French, when some people speak French in Congo, are they really French? Are they really French people? They are not. You know, I think we need to come out of all this shadow, you know, and learn how to treat each other, you know, fairly. You know, because this is too bad, you know. I'm going to go ahead and call brother Agoti. Please answer.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, brother. How are you?
I'm doing great.
How are you doing, Comrade Jongkor?
I am doing very well. How are you doing, brother?
I'm very good.
I think so. You saw the topic there today that we are talking about, right?
Yeah. If you would allow me, please, I would like first to introduce myself. My name is Manyang Deng. I'm calling from Australia. So I have been following your show for the last 1 hour or so, and I feel like I will add my view on the topic. And
you are welcome.
Yep. I have been listening to some of your video show, and I got some interest in what you have been talking about. You have been a neutral voice, and you have been genuine in your argument. Particularly, I like people who speak on behalf of the suffering South Sudanese, and not a political group.
Yes.
And for the last person you responded to, the view of entitlement that is common among the people who call themselves liberators is not only in South Sudan. It has been happening all over Africa. When the people who wage the liberation war get into power, they are tempted to say that they own everything. And everyone else that was not in practical war has not contributed. And that is the wrong notion, and it is good you have spoke to that guy. We know South Sudanese in one way or another, they have contributed in the liberation of the people of South Sudan. Like the way you put it.
Thank you.
They contribute their money, they contribute their gold, they contribute their peace and everything. And this is the mentality with people who get into power. Like now the political class in Juba and in the bush, they got that notion that they liberated the country, and if they quarrel, they are quarreling over entitlement. Who is to own who? And that is what I need to say. I will also take this opportunity to appreciate the viewers who are now online. For the last few weeks, there has been a turn in the way we view the current issues in South Sudan. People have been hesitant for a long time to speak their minds and to say that what is happening in the country is not right. And now people have started speaking up, particularly in my Dinka community. We have started to realize that there is something that is wrong. And that on that note, I have to make that clear. We are South Sudanese above all. So we cannot say we are Nuer or we are Dinka. We must accept we are South Sudanese. And to come to your topic, you have stated that whether there is a potential indictment that is worrying the people in Juba. I cannot say President Kiir, because President Kiir is not alone. He is in charge as the head of the state.
That's correct.
And he's working with a political group. And when I look at your topic, I will just put it a different way. I don't think that war will benefit whoever is in Juba, because the war in South Sudan is not going to benefit anyone. And I don't think the political class in Juba will reject peace and prepare war so that they cannot be indicted or whatever the case may be. So I will disagree slightly with you with that. Coming to President Kiir, President Kiir has done a lot of good things. We know the liberation was not easy. A lot of things he did during the liberation struggle coming to independence of South Sudan must be appreciated. And this, as South Sudanese, we must acknowledge whatever positive thing person has contributed. Coming to the current war, President Kiir got the blame as a head of the state, because people have been saying, you don't need to blame President Kiir, but the leader, the head of the family or the head of the state, is the one who is the supervisor. Whatever is going wrong is under your watch, and you must be held to account. You must call these people to hold them to account. And if you don't do, it means you have tolerated that behavior. For now, what I can say, the leadership in Juba is not fearing indictment, because now the priority is to have a roadmap to peace. Because, brother, what I need to emphasize to my fellow South Sudanese, if there is an abrupt change in South Sudan right now, there is going to be total anarchy. We are a tribe, and the foundation for the leadership has not been laid. The last 12 years have been a political grouping based on tribal line. And if Kiir was to go today abruptly, mark my word, it will be a total chaos. You now know how many opposition groups we have now in South Sudan. And that is an indication that people don't have a national agenda. And if we were to take President Kiir out of today, we will not have a good country, or will not have a stable country. Coming to the problem in South Sudan, we know things have been going wrong. And with President Kiir, we must tell the people around him, and we the supporters, whoever supporting him, we are not interested for Kiir to be indicted. And if he was to say today he's going to give the transition of power to another person, that will be a good idea. But we will not force him out saying that now he has done this and this, because he's not alone. But we will encourage him and people around him. They must know the danger is looming. The danger of disintegration of the country is there. So we must advocate for them to give a roadmap for peace. And if they have given the roadmap, whoever committed crime in opposition and whoever committed crime under the government, if there is going to be a hybrid court wherever it is going to be located, then those people will be taken there. And we cannot say the head of the government, if we start talking about indictment, we are telling him that don't allow transition to take place or don't allow peace to come. Because I know President Kiir, I think he's interested in peace. And you know, when you get to power, now President Kiir is just in Juba, and the people feeding him with the information, they are not telling him the clear picture of the country. And that is why when we come in, there are sophisticated politicians that were not even in the liberation struggle. They have come to the government and they know how to manipulate. They know how to give the full picture so that they protect their interests. Now we have political group in Juba that have different interests. The political opposition outside the country, they have different interests. They are lobbying for their own interests. They are not lobbying for the interest of South Sudanese. Giving you the example, up to now, we don't have a constitution that is working because the constitution we have there was drafted in a particular way to favor a ruling class. And today, if you see those who disagree with Kiir, they will say President Kiir is wrong. But when they were with Kiir, President Kiir was not wrong. And this is where we say this is a political of hypocrisy. When people say you see things wrong when you are out of picture, you see things wrong when you are not in power, that is not the right way of politics. So yes, that is why I appreciate you. And if the time comes, the legacy of this war, brother, they are very bad. And if we are not going to be careful, even if President Kiir is going to go today, we will have a lot of issues. Particularly, first number one is tribalism. This war has just germinated a new level of tribalism. Even within a tribe, there is a categorization within every tribe. Coming to the regionalism, the current war has introduced regionalism. And when you see people speaking, I remember one day in one of the show, one of the speakers say, "Why are you people of Upper Nile producing bad leaders?" He was referring to the whole region. And if I were to be invited into that show, I could have asked the guy, which region in South Sudan produced the best politician? Because the politics is not about the region. The politics is about the individual. And if we were to judge the leader today, President Kiir now is our leader, and he's not alone. He's with the politician from Equatoria, politician from Baragazal, and politician from Equatoria. So if we say we are going to judge him based on the region he came from, that is where we lost the track. And to me, what I'm saying, we have to advocate for peace. 2018, like I said in the previous show, is going to be the year we either make it as South Sudanese to bring peace or we'll break the country. Because when the peace don't come in 2018, the level of violence that is going to come is unimaginable. Now see the fraction within the, recently you see President Kiir was with Paul Malongawan. Now there is a fallout and Malung is now not in the country and there is a lot of speculation going on against the Malung group and people who call themselves the Aki group. Is this healthy? Of course not. It is not healthy. And that's why we say if people around Kiir, they want to save the country, they must say enough is enough. And they are the one to bring peace. Coming to Taban, I have to say something about Taban Dengai. President Kiir, we can blame him because he's a supervisor. But people take advantage of him. See the way he just installed Taban Dengai and his few individuals in Juba. When the violence happened in 2016, President Kiir thought that he can save the country by taking Taban. And who is Taban Dengai? He got the record that we all know. If it comes to the previous atrocities committed, Taban is not free. And now see what Taban is playing. He's playing a card against Kiir, and Kiir is just sitting idle. He doesn't know that Taban is playing a politics that will not be beneficial to Kiir, that will not be beneficial to the country. You cannot take an individual that does not have a following. I can say Taban Dengai today, if you go to Nuer community, he is caucus, because now we are based on tribe. He doesn't have any following. And when you come to Riek Machar, who is now in South Africa, many people from his constituency that who identify with him, they are still believing in him. So if you keep Taban in Juba, and you say you want peace, that is not helpful. And that is where I say President Kiir, the supervisor of the government, has to change the way he's looking. And the people around him, I cannot mention their name, but there are good individuals with him. People who were against him when President Kiir was in the liberation struggle, and now overnight, because of political accommodation and interest, they are now with Kiir, and they say we don't want Mr. Y, we don't want Mr. X. So with accountability, peace is priority. And when peace has come and the roadmap has been laid, then accountability will come. Because you cannot put the cart before the horse. You know, we know the first priority is President Kiir to bring peace with all the political group. After that, we must not have a country when we don't have accountability. What happened now in 2013 and beyond is unimaginable. And that's why we must advocate as citizens, as citizens of South Sudan, we must advocate for justice and accountability. Because we don't want this cycle of violence to continue. Yep, I will finish there. And
Manyang,
yep.
Manyang, I really appreciate you, brother. And I like the spirit, by the way, you know, the spirit that we can disagree. And when we disagree, when we don't disagree, it doesn't mean that when I say something actually is a threat to your point of view. That's kind of, you know, engagement that we want as a South Sudanese intellectual. That's the good thing. So to respond to the point that we have made about President Kiir, actually, no one in South Sudan can deny that Kiir has played a good role during the repression. No one can deny that. Kiir has done so, perfectly. He fought, and he knew the values that he was fighting for. Okay, Kiir actually during harassment, during the interim period with the Sudan 6 years, Bashir was harassing us all the time. You know, he was bombing Mile 14, he was bombing Abyei, he was doing kind of all of things. But Kiir has a patience that time. He has a patience, and he waited until we went through a referendum. A referendum took place, and we become an independent nation. Now, the thing is, brother, when people say that, hey, people around Kiir are problem. People around Kiir are the one that giving him wrong advice, and Kiir, they are not giving him a right picture of what's going on out there. Kiir personally, he knows what's going on. And that's the point that I always say, that I don't blame people around you. Right now, Brother Manyang, you know, as a person, you know your legacy, you know your values, you know what you stand for. If you were fighting when you volunteer, you want to fight for justice, liberty, prosperity, right? And I mentioned from the beginning on my show, and I said that, look, since 2005, have you ever heard that a politician died in South Sudan? Who are those people who died all the time? Are the ordinary citizen, right? Because there is a notion that we fought, and now is the time that we need to reward ourselves. Okay. The reason I came with the topic today, the potential indictment made President Kiir, or some people in IO as well, hesitant to accept the lasting peace in South Sudan. Why? Because we have seen this over and over again in many countries. Every dictator, okay, people who committed atrocity, whether within the government or whether within the rebel, they are not always, accepting process to take place. And I want to tell you something. I already said it from the beginning of the show. When I lost face, I used to support Kiir since 2005 up to 2012. When he went to WOW and made that a ridiculous statement when people were doing protests, and then him coming from Juba as a father of the nation to go and make a resolution between the citizens who were protesting, moving the county headquarters from WOW to Bagari, he went there actually in fuel situation, okay, and instead of saying that, hey, we want to bring the development to your area, that's why actually we're transferring the headquarters of the county to the Bagari. And instead, he said, if I were here, I would have fired you so you can go to your place. That's the time that I lost faith, in President Kiir. When something happened in Yambio, when two individuals went there and got the suspect from the prison, the guy that killed, alternate generals in the police, right? One individual also went in and got that guy who, the finance minister at that time, and he didn't do anything about it. So when people say here Kir is innocent of all these things, I don't get it, brother. I don't get it. Yes, Kir took all the authorities to be in his hand. He can fire the governor. He can fire them. He can, appointed the parliamentarian and all these things. People elected, right? He took all these authorities to become more authoritarian. Even though people who were, lecturers at the University of Juba, he fired, Luka Byung, and he has nothing to do with academia. That's you are in political arena. Someone who teaches at the university and he just make a remark was talking about the crisis in the country, right? And he fired him. Another point here made me lost, and I know that, make me think that Kir actually, he knows what he's doing. When people say that, no, people around him are the one distracting him, I don't believe it. Look, in 2012, when they sent all the candidates, I will let you, when they sent all the candidates to go and assess, to go and assess the situation, how SPLM was doing, the report came there, the grassroots, actually, they didn't like what they were seeing. They were expecting the basic services to be delivered to the people. The clean water, the hospital, the road, and all these things. But, it was opposite. All these politicians, SPLM, they were enjoying, in hotels in Juba. They didn't even care about the people. And people of South Sudan, actually, they have dreamed that when we gain independence, we're going to live like other people. That's the point. Another point, when he escaped the process within the SPLM party, when he knew that he has no ground, even though within the state, Greater Barghazal, and then he started escaping the process from political bureau to National Liberation Council because he didn't have support there. Everyone want to run. Riak want to run for the president. Yandeng want to run for the president. Pagan want to run. Everybody want to run for the president. They want to compete within the party. They wanted to have convention. So Kir has kept the political process within the political bureau, and he went to Liberation, Council. That shows you something that Kir doesn't have a good face. Actually, he doesn't want peace. If I were him in that time, if these people don't want me, despite that I did all this good during time struggle, I would have run as independent. So to save the country from sliding toward war. And you know that, brother, there was no military coup whatsoever. It was made up. So these people, they can be thrown in jail, and all these things can happen. Overall and all, what we are asking as intellectual citizens of South Sudan is the president has tools, is to come to consensus. Look, how many times the Drake and the United States and the IGAD, what did they do to Riek Machar? They said Riek Machar, more he's close to the Nuer people, more he become like a spiritual leader. More he's here, more the war will continue. So they put him in confinement in South Africa. And they gave him a chance for 1 year. So Kir can do real reform, to do like a constitution review and do a census and bring really lasting peace and election. And then it will show to the world, look, I was not a problem. Riek was a problem. But Kir failed to do so because he's showing bad face, Yeah. That's the indication, brother, that these people, they were not for peace. And I don't even support one of them. That's why we are suggesting any peace process that's taking place, we cannot say, if Kir left and then South Sudan is going to be a chaotic situation. Kir is not the only smart man. What you have shown to people of South Sudan now through this show, with your talk, you can lead this nation and you can do a better job actually by going to ordinary people and educate them what is right and what is wrong. So that's the thing, brother. It's not just about people don't like Kir personally. Nobody can say that I don't like Kir personally. But we don't like the system that he's created. The system that they created, including the rebel, because Riek Machar was there. They were there. The system that they created is not good for South Sudanese, So that's why you see people are crying, brother. It's not because, Fadal Manya.
Yeah,
I can give you another word too.
Oh, okay. Thank you, brother. Like I said earlier, like as a leader, we cannot excuse Kir from leadership or from responsibility. That's what I have to make clear. Yeah. The point I was making, like when you let people take advantage of you, because we know there are sophisticated politicians that were out of the country, and they came close to Kir, not without his permission. He permitted them to be around him, so that these people, when they come around him, they play the politics that you are seeing now. Because, when you were not part of the team and you come to the team, you must play your card so that you can fit. And if you want to fit, you must get rid of some people so that you gain loyalty and you get rid of other people. That is what happened within the SPLM politics. And the reason, the reason representative to AU, like for the ceasefire that was signed, you know who was leading the delegation. That guy is from different party, and because he got that Trump loyalty to Key,
interest.
Yeah, Key trusts him more than the other people. So I was not saying we can excuse President Kiir from responsibility, because as the president of the country, he got all the tools that he can use to bring peace tomorrow. But if he got these people around him, he knows that when everybody come into the SPLM house again, maybe they will be get rid of or they will lose their position. That is the point I was making. Coming to Kiir legacy, brother, the foundation can be laid by a leader. You know what happened in South Africa. When apartheid took many years, Mandela was jailed for how many years? He was jailed for 27 years. When he came, when he was released in 1994, he told the South African, the ANC party, that he doesn't want to contest because he's too old. And people put him, they told him, Mandela, we want you to show us the example, so that when you show us the example of what to do, it will be good. What the people in South Africa, the black majority that were oppressed in South Africa, they thought Mandela will come and mobilize them to take a revenge against the people who wronged them during that dark period. What Mandela did, he said no. Whatever tool you got in your hand, whether it is a bow, whatever tool you want to have, please take them to the river and throw them there. When Mandela got elected, and he said, okay, if you don't want me to go, I will take only one term. He took one term and he laid the foundation of the ANC today. ANC is still ruling, and people within the ANC, they can contest. You know, Jacob Zuma now is not going to be the next president of South Africa. The vice president, Ramaphosa, is going to be the next president because they did what is called internal democratic process within their party. President Kiir, I don't think if he could have allowed Riek to contest with him within the SPLM's party, he was going to be defeated. But he was given a full picture that you have lost the support, and if you contest with Riek, Riek will take over. Now look, what is at stake now with the SPLM party? You know, it's a great party. It's a great party that has done a lot for us, for the people of South Sudan. What is now at stake? Every South Sudanese, even if you were part of the SPLM, you start to question the ability of the leaders there, because you say, if this is what they were fighting for, if this is what they were fighting for, and they look very much alike, like the system we have in Khartoum. So what was the point of the liberation struggle, by the way? These are the genuine questions we asked. And when we heard them, they say you are not supporting the system. But these are the real things we need to ask if we want to protect President Kiir, we want to protect the SPLM party, because it is our party, it is the party we have known for years. And if we don't ask tough questions, then we are not supporting the party. Remember what the late SPLM leader, who was the founder of the SPLM, he said, SPLM is going to be the forum where citizens will ask, where are our roads? Where are our schools? Where are our hospitals? Now, if you ask this question in the SPLM party, you will be in trouble, because they say when you ask such question, you don't support the party. And this is now, even now it is not too late. Yeah, it is not too late for President Kiir and the leadership to take ownership of the crisis. Because when you are in power, if I'm causing trouble, don't blame me, because everything will be blamed on you. And now you see people around Kiir, when time comes, and I am very sure the time is going to come, that Kiir is going to go. Even if it will take how many years, he will go. The people around him now will be the first people to say, no, I was not with Kiir. He was the one doing this. The people will deny him, like what Peter did to Jesus. When Jesus told Peter, you will deny me even before the cock crow. And this is exactly what happened. Okay, the people now supporting Kiir, not because they like him. They don't want to protect his legacy. He's a great man. He liberated our country with his comrade, and his legacy must be protected. And you see what they are doing. How much money have come to South Sudan? Billions of dollars. And if you can see, there is no single road that has been tarmacked. And for the leader to gain the sympathy of the people, you must invest in developmental projects, because this is where you can get the trust. You cannot be loved by citizens if you have not invested in infrastructure. Because in my village, if there is no school, if there is no road, I don't see the reason I can support the president or whoever is the leader, and I don't have this such service. So what I was saying is to make it clear, the people who are against the SPLM. There are people who want to dismantle the SPLM as infrastructure, as the party, you know. And when you want to dismantle the party and you are clever enough, you go within the system and dismantle it. And you will see in the next coming years or month, some people will say SPLM is useless. We don't need SPLM. And you know, brother, a party that has done a great thing cannot be wished away. And that's why I was saying, when President Kiir go today, when he's put out of power without a clear roadmap, we will have a total anarchy. Because you see, when they were negotiating peace in 2015, how many political groups? There were three. Riek Machar IO, President Kiir, and Lemakol. Lemakol was in Juba, and former detainees. Now you see how many opposition groups do we have now? We have so many, more than 10 of them. If they were if they have an ideology, for the country, they don't need to have those groups. And on those marks, brother, I appreciate. And like I said, as South Sudanese, we have to accept President Kiir is our leader, and we must push him. If he cannot accept reform, he has to give way to other people. This is a simple thing we need to say. It's not because we hate him, we don't like him.
Yeah.
We can say, President Kiir,
you're right.
What is left?
Manyang, I really appreciate you, you know, because your words are really making a lot of sense to South Sudanese who are watching here and those who are watching also anywhere else. So the thing is, you brought a very good point. You talk about the roadmap. In my show before, I made a contrast between the President Kiir and the founding father of the United States, George Washington. Because President Kiir was a soldier and he became with, sorry, I think I lost you for some reason. And the same thing for George Washington. He was a soldier and he became a general and he became a president, and he later laid the foundation of the United States of America, which has a democracy. Of course, I cannot make a contrast between the United States and South Sudan because South Sudan is a new nation, as we know. But the thing is, there was no interest showing that, you know, President Kiir wanted to do a roadmap. In this show, how many times I give an advice that if President Kiir, like I talk about when Riek Machar was sent to confinement in South Africa, actually the world leaders they were trying to give chance to Salva Kiir to make a real reform so South Sudan can live in peace and stability. But he failed to do so. The same thing, when we talk that about the real roadmap, how the roadmap can come. A good leader, a caring leader, a patriot leader, as someone who loves country, as someone who that fought for the cause, fought with the values that we should have justice, we should have liberty, we should have prosperity. It will set up a roadmap, you know, and that's why we have been crying here on the social media that Salva Kiir, he should have sat down with economic South Sudanese, with loyal South Sudanese, with religious South Sudanese from all different denominations, and then say, hey, now we achieve what we were looking for. We were fighting so we can be free. Now, how about to achieve justice? How about to achieve prosperity? How about to achieve liberty and all these things? But President Kiir has not showing that. And that's why I keep talking, and making this point. Many times, we say that it's very simple. Very simple. If you want such thing to happen, give the judicial power, give the legislative branch power, so judicial can take a role. If someone made a mistake, they will be able to prosecute, and go after him. But President Kiir has everything. He's the one that appoints judges. He's the one that, spoil everything in the country. So how the country is going to move forward? Because the president has all the authority. That's what should have taken place. But it's not too late, like Brother Manyang was saying, that President Kiir still can do this. If you really love South Sudan, if you really care about the people of South Sudan, if you really about the children dying every day from hunger, from disease, women are dying, people are dying from malnutrition, from all this kind of thing, he still can do it. He still can turn, he still turn 180 degrees. If you really have that, have that will, political willingness to do so, he can sit down, he can say, hey, this is the real reform. This is the real reform, okay? We should have a constitution conference that will include all South Sudanese from walk of life. So they can determine how this country should be ruled, not who can rule this country. That's the way it is, And then based on that, you got the constitution, and then do the national census so we can have a real population of the country, and then do a parliamentary election, and then do a general election based on a solid foundation. But brother and sisters, I know that there is no political willingness. And that's why I fail to accept when people say that President Kiir, people around him are the one that distracting him, or they're giving me wrong ideas. Well, a person is a person, and you know what is the legacy is, and you know what you have been fighting for is for all these years. You know what you have been doing, okay? It doesn't take that long to say, hey, you know what, I have a values. I fought so these people cannot suffer anymore. That's what it is. Why should we have a war? You can be on the side of the people. And if you become on the side of the people, you can solve the problem. So I'm sorry, Brother Manyang, I lost you because the network was not good there. I'm going to go ahead and see who requested so I can bring them in. This platform is for all South Sudanese. I know that when I talk about the potential, potential indictment, because there is experience. We have seen throughout the, all over the world, those who are really clinging to the power, when they commit bad thing, bad acted, they always cling to the power because they know that the power is the only protector. If they are out of the power, they will be persecuted. And I have seen that in the leader of South Sudan. They don't want to be in that category. That's why they are remaining in the power. And they don't want, the fairness, the accountability to take the place. If really President Kiir loved South Sudan and loved the values that he fought for, he should allow the peace to take place. He should be the first one to say that if I am a problem, okay, let us make a consensus. Let us make a constitution conference. Let us agree who can lead the interim period and then have an election. If you want to run for election, brother, you are welcome to run for that election. At least South Sudan can save and build a trust one more time again. But now we lost trust. We lost trust. Let me go ahead and get this brother in because he has been calling me. I hope the women also, they can join us so they have a voice as well. Okay, I'll give you, let me do this. So please, request so I can see. I've seen a lot of people requested actually while we were talking with Brother Manyang, but go ahead and request me so I can bring you in. I see Francis Majok requested actually. Let me go ahead and get him here. Hello.
Hey, Brother Jongkor. Hello.
How are you? I'm doing good.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
So I'm sorry it took long.
Yeah, thank. It's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's great contribution on the carry that you guys are doing to bring people, storm their mind. And ده فكرة جميل جدا إنه الناس يقدروا يشاركوا أفكار بتاعهم. Thanks all the viewers who are really viewing.
Yes.
And greatly appreciated for us as a youth or as a backbone of South Sudan to come together. We can disagree. We will disagree, we will have problems, but in the end, our goal should be South Sudan. How can we solve South Sudan?
That's correct.
Because our problem is not relying into those generations who are extended to die or extended to go to the end of their lives. The problem is going to be left with us and our children.
Correct.
How can we solve that? As what you said earlier, انت قلت انه الناس المسؤولين القاعدين حاليا في السلطه السياسيين الكبار مشاكل بتاعهم اللي هم خطوا فيه الناس ده. How can we solve them? Can we forgive them عشان هم يجيبوا السلام ولا نحن نسجنهم ولا نادي المحكمة الدولية يسجنهم؟ Well, simple thing. Liberia لما كانوا في مشاكل يعني Liberia عشان هم سلام يجوا قدروا يعفوا الناس اللي كانوا عاملين مشاكل معهم، الناس اللي كانوا بيقطعوا يدين، الناس اللي كانوا يعني جيش ده عفوهم. ناس يا انت بيكون عايش جار بتاعك ده زول كان قتل امك ولا قتل ابوك عايش معك جار ما دخلهم سجون. So but the problem all I will say we're relying into the youth who are the backbone of all these problems. You know, where is the youth? Either from wherever, who's the leaders? You know, I can name all those rebels and the government and the others. Those cannot succeed if the youth has the same brainstorm we are doing right now in the media, you know, and know what is right and what is wrong and what is dragging us into those wars. You know, my opinion personally, I don't know if forgive can be the best solution. Nelson Mandela, like you mentioned earlier, he's been in jail for 27 years or 28 years. But when he came out, he said, "Ana ma jaish ana nishil sultan, ana bigid ajus, ma zaman bitai." Okay, you guys go ahead. Pray for me, please. You know, tell mommy that. The Mazaman Bitao is the same thing. Our fine father of South Sudan, the Selfa, is one of them. Riak can be mentioned, is part of it. Because the struggle, the struggle, Nazal kind of Junub, or Nazal for Khartoum, or Nazal even al Barra. We all struggle to get that country. You know, الدولار البسيط أنا برسل الأسرة بتاعي هناك ولا أنا برسل لزول أنا بعرف صديقي, it will help the country move forward. It will help any other person around that. So a struggle cannot be named because I have a gun in my hand. There's a lot of different ways you struggle to build or to move your country forward. You know, again, I will just be more precise. You know, all this problem is relying into the youth, how they are communicating and brainstorm their minds and how they can have ideology of what South Sudan look like, and how can we fit with all our cultures and with all our differences and tribes. How can we have one goal of the country that we support? That's where I will feel like is the problem. It's not those leaders without the youth, because they're manipulating the youth mind. That's the problem. That's why you have a rebel today here, a rebel there, a government not listening to you, to the people who are suffering, because they have youth who are supporting them, carrying that gun for them. But if the youth back up today, you know, all those revolutions happening in Middle East, it start from the youth. You know, all the other revolution happen all around the world. The youth are the one who can tell those people stop. And I put all this in the youth hand. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My comment.
Yeah, and bishkurak, brother, for your comment and for your mudakhaltak. This is what we need. We need to interact together. We need to have an opinion. And like I said, you know, the topic that I put there, and there is the fear actually. Like you talk about the Liberia, you talk about, you know, after war there was a forgiveness, you know, from the neighbor and all these things. And this is something that we need to address as South Sudanese, as a concern, people who concern. We need to address this issue. Because those who committed atrocity, they realize that, hey, low fee stability now, today, what is going to happen to me? Because they know that what they have done in the past. So they are so we can have a really مخرج سيف مخرج عشان يقدر يخلي بلد مثلا يمشي لبرلمان. Anyway, أنا بشكرك brother شديد لمداخلتك. أنا بدي مجال لناس ثانيين كمان so they can contribute. I see a lot of people, they have been waiting for quite a bit. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead here and okay, I know. I'm gonna call you for sure, brother.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing great.
Yes, that is a good show.
Thank you so much. I think I said your name wrong. And I put Manyangjik.
Manjir Mijak.
Oh, okay. Thank you, brother. Yeah. So welcome. And this is for all South Sudanese we are here to interact together and find a common ground and common purpose.
Okay. Yes. I appreciate your show, and I'm so glad, and thank you for inviting me for respond my request. And brother, what is going on in Southern Sudan need us. Need us to talk. Need us not to shine each other, to tell each other the truth. Because this country, we have been struggling a lot, and we lost almost 3 million people to liberate this country. And if we lost 3 million people to liberate this country, how can we pay them back if we get our country from the enemy? We fought, and we come and kill each other, and just don't give ourselves rest to make sure the suffering we own from 39 years old should be paid back. But the problem is you and I. There is some generation have been blocked. We have very clever people, but there's some people stand in our way. But I don't think if someone like President Key call you and come and tell you, please, if you have a wise advice or wise knowledge, come and help me. It will not disqualify him. But in our mental or in our mentality in Southern Sudan, they just you just push something you don't have that knowledge, but you should quote someone who can help you to make sure you succeed. But the problem is in our leadership in Southern Sudan, they thought if they call you and come and you come to help them, they say, oh, this thing will pay us bad people who don't know what to do. This is the big problem in Southern Sudan. But what I can tell you, brother, President Key, to chase him away by power, I think will not a solution. But either one should have solved this problem. If he see everything is falling apart, because now what is going on in Southern Sudan now, everything is already falling apart.
Yeah.
Okay, how can we be call ourselves a Southern Sudan is a country? We will be a country because we have a flag, but there is no economy now is collapsed. People are leaving the country. People even simple disease can kill person because there's no right treatment. And people now, they improve like what happened last time, brother. Northern Sudan was spoken saying, oh, why you don't need to let them go to be a country. Those guys are tribal people that were not going to rule themselves. Why we approve that right away? This is shame for us, and this is shame for our leadership. We cannot shame ourselves, all of us, because we thought we have a leaders who can move on and protect our people and make something like we are a rich country, like what you know. What I can say as my opinion, what I can say to President Key, there is no change for a person. Now we have no good constitution, and the transitional constitution we wrote since 2011, since separation from our country from the north, people don't follow that constitution also. You cannot create the road and say, I don't need to drive my car on this road and go down where whatever you're going to drive the car, while the car is not going to run well. You need to build a road and drive your car on it. But I don't think no country create a little constitution like a transitional constitution and people don't follow it. So this is not good. What I can advise to my President Key, before before the worst label start. He's supposed to start like what happened now. What happened in Juba now? I don't think Taban Denga deserve to have that position. I'm telling you the truth. If President Kiir need to rescue the peace of 2000, I think it was 2015. If he about to rescue that, why he assigned Taban Denga to become a past vice president, and Taban Denga was already defect from Riek? He should support to put to if he need to convene the world. If he convene the world, he still hold on the peace. He's supposed to put Lado Gori right there, because Lado Gori was a vice president of Riek. But now he keep Taban there, and that is why some other people and Taban don't have any military. But Riek is still fighting. If we need peace, President Kiir now don't going along with Taban. Taban saying we don't need Riek. President Kiir also adopted we don't need Riek. Okay, there is no citizen can deny another citizen. Now you and I, we are Southern Sudanese citizens. Yeah. If we need to be reconcile each other, let us come together as the people of Southern Sudan and come and forgive one another while we are together. But to share the way some other citizens and say those citizens are not qualified, are not belong to our country, and if they come, the country will not be functioned well, and let us be here, and you and I, if we are here, the country be functioned well, the country need all body, need you and I, whether from 64 tribe, whether Noera Choli, Denka, Maban, Murale, whatever, if we need to forgive one another, let us call ourselves as the Southern Sudanese, and let us come and forgive one another while we are in Southern Sudan. So that's what I think is going to work. And I don't think to saying we don't need Riek while we say we need to negotiate peace in Addis Ababa will be not a solution.
Correct.
Will be not a solution. So what I can say, because there is a lot of some people need to be given a chance. My advice to my President Kiir, I'm a soldier. I'm suffering to liberate this country, and to see all my martyr children, my colleagues who die to defend this country are so angry on the street in Juba or every corner in 32 states is bothering me. It's bothering me. Now I'm America. I'm in the United States. And thank God because I never die, but I don't sleep because of those children, the martyrs. How do you think the country, all the soldiers, they have 7 months without salaries? The country now, we have almost 1 year without salaries. How can you still call yourself your president while everything is already fall apart? We appreciate President Kiir Sydney joined the movement in 1960 when he was 17 years. But does not mean when you join the liberation struggle for a long time and come and liberate this country, does not mean you come and destroy it. And destroy it. If you see yourself, the road is too big for you, then why you don't thank people of Southern Sudan? Say, you know what, guys, I think I'm being exhausted. Let me take some rest up, and I will, and let me, and I can call me if it was me. I can say simply and say, you the people of Southern Sudan, I will excuse myself. And if there's something you need me for, to like a liberation or whatever, like a knowledge, because he been a president before, he should, person like you and me, I should go and ask for him.
Simple,
but
yeah.
To keep yourself by force while all the people are suffering and there's no change, I don't think it will destroy. I don't need him to be chased on power. It will destroy his legacy. and it will paint out the image in Southern Sudan. I need him to make sure if there is nothing, if he don't nail anything, I need him to say to call Southern Sudan. It doesn't matter. There is something I keep hearing from some other people. Some other people keep saying, if the president, we don't have any person, and if the president go, everything will be no person will bring Southern Sudan together. No, you can bring Southern Sudan together. I can bring Southern Sudan together. Everyone can bring Southern Sudan together. The leadership belongs to someone who been chosen at that time. So what I can say, my brother, to conclude my talk, no, there's no trust. People don't trust President Key anymore. You see the Constitution since 2015. They're saying last year, 2017 April, they're saying they will write the permanent Constitution, and the election will go ahead, or everything will be appointed by the people. But now look what is going on. A president, everything by his own power. This is not good. Now our image as a Southern Sudanese, like you and I, in the Western country, we are so shameful than the people being in Southern Sudan. Because when you've been asked, where are you from? I'm from Southern Sudan. So people say, oh, your country, there are a lot of trouble. This thing, to answer that, and you cannot lie, because everything now by digital. They Google it, and they know what is going on. If you're trying to lie on him or on her and say, no, it's not true, it will pain you somebody don't tell the truth. And this is shame for us. We need to make sure I don't need my president to be chasing away by power from Juba. I need him to call people of Southern Sudan to say, I saw it last time when he said he needs national dialogue. I thought he will announce people of Southern Sudan, I need you to come together. I'm not going to run on 2018. And the reason I'm calling you, I need you to come together and come and sit down as the people of Southern Sudan. When I leave the power for you, you should be able to debate and find someone who is leading you. That's what I would expected from him. Because we appreciate for his long journey. Everyone can be tired when you're working long journey. I need him to take some rest. But I don't need him to take some rest while he's chasing away and running to another country.
No.
This is something I don't need. But I need President Key to excuse himself, because 90% of the country now are saying President Key should leave. Even what happened in 2013, if he leave the power and give the power now to people of South Sudan, we will forgive him. Nobody can come in his hours by force and say, we need to come and arrest you because what happened in 2013. No, we will forgive him and we will sit down. But to say by force while the people are suffering, this is not good. And I appreciate your show, and we need our people, especially our president, to listen to our boy, to listen to like somebody like you. We need him to leave the power and by peaceful way, and go and sit by his own home, and people will still forgiving him whatever. Let us for our brothers, let us forgive one another. Like what happened in Rwanda? What happened in Rwanda for 3 days? People, almost 1 million killed in 3 days, but they were trying to go back and forth. But when they realized if they do that, Rwanda will not be a country.
Yes.
Look Rwanda now. Look Rwanda. Why we don't adapt that system? I know what happened in 2013 is a horrible, but we will hold someone accountable when we come together, when we have peace. Otherwise, if we say we need to revenge and respond by revenge, everything will falling apart, and that is the consequence of fight back and revenge. So I need to make, we need as a youth of Southern Sudanese, Denka, Nuer, Acholi, Kakwa, whatever 64 tribes, we need to come as one body and yearning for peace and yearning for the name of Southern Sudan. And don't relying on from Denka or from Panaroot like who or from Bargadala will or from what, this will not help us. Will not help us. Southern Sudan can accommodate. Southern Sudan can accommodate us. We need to make sure Southern Sudan, if you from Equatoria, go to, you have a place in a will. If you from Mata, you have a place in Pariang. You from Nuer, you have a place in Maluth.
Yes.
We need to do that. This country is so very rich. This country is so young. We need to have a wisdom man, and I appreciate your show, and to give me this opportunity. We pray for God, and maybe your show will be a successful show. And we need our leaders to listen. Enough is enough. The personal interest is enough. Let us put Southern Sudan first. Then your food, then you will die, and Southern Sudan will not die.
Correct. Well,
thank you so much. God bless everybody watching and Southern Sudanese.
Yes. Brother Majoker, I really, really, really appreciate you. You speak from the heart, and that's what concerned citizens can do when you see the suffering. You know, that's the cry. You are speaking from the heart. I can feel you. South Sudanese can feel you. That's what we are yearning. That's what we are crying for. We have been saying this for so long. We need to speak up. We need to speak up. You know, President Kiir, you still have tools in your hand to bring the lasting peace for the people of South Sudan. South Sudan, they have suffered for so long. I'm going to go ahead and bring Brother Manyang, but because he was here, but I lost him because internet was not working well. Of course, look, even the soldiers, even the dear one, the one that are fighting for the President Kiir, they are not receiving salary for how long now? 9 months. 9 months. And I told a story before. I talk about a woman from my area of Northern Barkazal, a woman that have 4 children, a woman that lost 1 child from hunger, and her husband was in the area of Pantit. That's Muasker actually, Tajesh. You know, that's the military barrack. That woman has tired. She doesn't know what to do. She has no food to feed the children. She has no medicine for the children. 1 died, and she has 3. Finally, what she decided, she said, okay, I'm going to go to military barrack because her husband has been there for a couple of months, like 4 months, 6 months, and he never come back to visit to see what's going on. So she decided to take the children and went there to a barrack. And when she got to the gate, she said, I wanted to speak to my husband. And then they called her husband and he said, hey, I have 2 things to say to you. These are your children. One is died, 1 dead because of hunger, and I have 3. Now you have decision to make. 2 choices. Either take your children and leave me alone, and I can go and cross the border, and I can go and work and find something, you know, to live, to have a life. Because there is no way here. You've been here many, many months and no salary, and we don't have nothing. Or, okay, I can take the children with me and forget about them, and I will go. Do you know, brothers and sisters, what that guy did? That SPLA guy, a soldier, the one dedicated to the country, the one dedicated to liberation, fought for the freedom of South Sudan, and he has not getting anything. Do you know what he did? He took his gun and he get it, and he, you know, and he handed it over to his general and say, you know what? Look what happened to my children. Look what happened to my wife. I'm leaving. He end down the gun and he left. Is that the country that we were dreaming for? Okay, people keep saying that, hey, President Kiir, people around him, people are advising him wrong. But he can see in his own eyes. He can see the suffering of people of South Sudan. He can see in his own eyes. And I said this many times, long time ago. When you go to bed, you have a good food, and you have a luxury car and all this, drinking good water, and people are dying, child is dying from just a meal a day. How do you feel as a leader of the country? Someone is dying because of war that you have been created. The stability of that in the country. How do you feel? How do you feel? What do you want to achieve? What are the values? The justice, the liberty, the prosperity. Tell me, the one that you are fighting for. I know that the North, they were oppressors. They marginalized us. They didn't even want us to go in nowhere. But now our own brother is in charge of our own affairs. Is that fair enough? Is that fair to do that to your own brothers and sisters, your own children? Is that fair? And yet when we speak, people keep saying that we make noise. They are expert. There is no expert. Issue of South Sudan, we are all in it together. Because this country, we love it and we all belong together. Brother Manyang, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back. I'm sorry that I lost you a little while ago, but I want to bring you so you can finish your thought. I'm calling you right now.
All right.
I'm sorry, brother, because I lost you, but you are back anyway.
Yep. It was not your problem. I just got a call from somebody. It was interrupted. So okay. I apologize for the second call, because this is for South Sudanese and we want to get our view out so we educate our people. So the point I want to make to finish, brother, I appreciate.
Go ahead. I want to drink water. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. I appreciate you guys who are listening. This is for our country, and we know the current situation our country is in, and the reason we speak is so that our leaders, wherever they are, in opposition or in government, can hear our voice. You know, we are the citizen, and this country is for us, and it will be for the next generation. Like the last speaker said, we know, like, country will live forever, and generation will come and go. And this is the message we need to tell our leaders, particularly the one in power, that they will not be there tomorrow, and the next generation will come. So we would like them to lay a foundation. We would like them to show us an example, because as a leader, you don't need to preach hatred, because we know, like, for example, now what has been happening in Sudan is the politics of hatred. You know, like if you don't like your brother, or you don't like a politician from, you don't like your opponent, you want to get him out by all costs, and you don't know what you are destroying in the long run is the country. The current war, like the host has already said, we know the event leading to 2013 are apparent, because we are part of the system. In one way or another, we know what was going on. It was the power struggle within SPLM. And it has been confirmed by all the media outlets, including our supporter, who is President Museveni. He confirmed that what was going on in Juba was power struggle. To finish, like, we are South Sudanese brother, and that is the message, and that is the reason I say I admire your show. You are not like other people, you know, and that is a good. The country we want is a country where our views, where we can disagree, and we know that is why we have a country. We don't have, we never went to war so that we can have one opinion. And that is a message I have to tell to my generation. Like, people have been calling people names when you don't just advocate the position of another person. We must disagree, but you must justify what you are standing for. As citizen of South Sudan, myself, I stand for the suffering people of South Sudan. And I don't want their future to be compromised by bad politics, or in opposition, or in government. And I am very much aware, I know, tomorrow, if there is no genuine reform, even if we were to bring whoever is out there who want to change President Kiir, we will still be in the same circle. And that is the reason we just need to advocate. Whoever is in government and whoever is willing in government must hear our voice. What happened from 2005 up to now have been proved was a complete failure. And that's why you see the SPLM has never been working to lay a foundation for our country. As we move forward, as citizens, we need to come out of these shadows. And we say we need South Sudan. And what kind of South Sudan? There was one speaker in one of the shows who had, citizens of South Sudan were not asked when they voted for a referendum, they were not asked what kind of country do we want. And that has been a problem. And as we advocate for peace now, we don't want the leaders to go and negotiate power sharing. We want them, as citizens, we need to have a valid constitution. A constitution that will lay a procedure of getting into power. We don't want a constitution that can be dropped by one political party, like SPLM, to protect their interests. We want people, a constitution that can be passed through a referendum. So that when we have a government, we must have a process of changing the government. And that's what I always said. People say, we don't want South Sudan to be like America. And also we have to say, we don't want South Sudan to be like Khartoum we left. We don't want it to be like America because we don't have anything, but we don't want it to be like North Korea. We want it to be because we know why we fought. We fought so that we accommodate our different views. We fought so that our people will be given opportunity so that they can do the experiment about their life. And that's what we always say, brother. As citizens of South Sudan, we must forgive ourselves. Our leaders must be the one leading the example. We know we have wronged ourselves. We have killed ourselves during the struggle, and even now we are killing ourselves. And for us to have South Sudan, our leaders must tell us that they have just put behind the differences. They have put behind the killing, like what Mandela did. Mandela said, whatever happening during the apartheid era, for us to have South Africa of today, we must leave them behind. And that is why you see South Africa hosting the World Cup. If they turn it to, if they could have turned South Africa into Mugabe country, they would have never host what is called World Cup. So my fellow South Sudanese and you, brother, we must keep the spirit. What we don't encourage is the politics of hatred. We must appreciate people for what they have done. President Kiir have done his part, but the country is failing under him. And that's why I said earlier, he still have time to change the course. Keeping Taban in Juba with the hope that there is peace in South Sudan is not helping. Keeping Riek Machar in South Africa because we hit him is not helping South Sudan. So Riek Machar, like if Riek Machar, for example, if you were to be allowed in the politics of South Sudan, and if you were to genuinely contest with him, there are points that you can raise even where you can get support from Nuer people. But if you corner him and you chase him out of the country,
cross the aisle.
It means that is why now every day Riek is becoming relevant and becoming a political force because you have not accepted to contest with him. And if you were to be elected into position by every South Sudan, what is the point? What is the problem? We know Riek will, if he is elected by majority, if I don't like him, I say, okay, you have elected him. I come with my policies and say, these are what I'm standing for. And my brother, I know Riek is a politician like other politicians. And if you were to contest in a genuine, free democratic process with the one who can articulate, you can even within the Nuer community, you can get a very big support. But because our leaders fear him and they want to get him rid out of politics, that's why now today everything is about Riek. But with me, I say my fellow South Sudanese, we must forgive ourselves. And we must forgive and build our country. You see now the economy has collapsed. The social fabric has collapsed. 5 million have been displaced. And if you ask some people now, what is the new direction now? Some people, they still up to today, they don't know anything. They say everything is fine. And that's why social advocacy, we have to educate our citizens. South Sudan, we are displaced. We are in every country in the world, and we want to build our country. And for us to contribute, we must tell our leadership, either in opposition, either in government, you are South Sudanese. You are our politician. You must create an atmosphere so that we come and contest. Everyone will come and contest. If you are rejected, that is not a good thing. And what sustains the current politics in South Sudan is what is called tribe. The current leaders have invested in tribe. Because if you are from certain tribe, you want a following. Because the reason why youth are not doing their work is because they have not been given opportunity. They are not educated. They are not working. You can manipulate them. If I got money today, I go to South Sudan, I will get people to manipulate if I have money. So we cannot blame the youth, but we can tell them our politicians are destroying your future. Whether in opposition or in government, they are destroying your future. You need to wake up. You need to talk to them. And to finish, like I said earlier, we don't want President Kiir to be disgracefully removed. We need to talk directly to him so that he said with his people in government and other people in opposition, they must reconcile and they must create an atmosphere so that we have a country that we can freely contest. There is nothing to fear from democracy. And that's what I always tell our people. If we say democracy is not part of our culture, then we say dictatorship is not part of South Sudanese. When we were in the village, so we don't have dictatorship, even though we have chieftaincy, we know the way we choose our leaders. So if you say, because we are a new country, we can embrace dictatorship, that is unacceptable. We are in the 21st century, and that's why we have Brother Jongkor is interviewing citizens. So we are in the 21st century. We must accept that we are in a different era. So we cannot cover anything up. We can bring it out so that people know. So, brother, it's a good show, and we encourage, particularly, I have to say one thing to my fellow Dinka. We don't have any grudges against any tribe. It is a policy of the government, and we must present ourselves as Dinka people. The people in South Sudan respect Dinka community. We are the bigger tribe in South Sudan. We must show leadership. We must show that we can accommodate. Because we know if it is killing, we cannot kill everyone. If there are people out there, Dinka are majority, they can rule or they can do anything because they are majority, that is not good. And that's what I always say, as Dinka, we are for South Sudan. And my fellow South Sudanese, they know that the role the bigger brother played during the struggle is a role that cannot be denied. Even if we were to go into democratic process today, they know that you have to have Dinka support to be a leader. And that's why, as Dinka people, we don't need to feel insecure that we will be targeted. We cannot be targeted by anybody. We know that if it is a politics, we can play politics. If it is reasoning, we can reason like our other fellow South Sudanese. And with my Nuer people, what I'm telling you, you don't have any grudges against the Dinka people. It is only politics played by our leaders. And you know your Riek Machar, Dr. Riek Machar, is good at playing a tribal card. I know that. And if we were to debate about Riek Machar today, I will say there are reasons I cannot say he cannot be a good leader even if we were to put him in leadership today. Because there are some of his weaknesses. And then what do you say? Why is he now in South Africa? Some people don't know. It's because when the fight happened in Juba and he went to Khartoum, he declared a popular resistance. And what the world want, you have to be politically correct. You have to say, if there was not your intention in Juba to fight, why you come to Khartoum and you are non-popular resistant? That was the reason he confined in South Africa, because he failed to play a diplomatic card. So, Brother Jongkor, I appreciate your show and thank you for bringing me back. And I can see a good, I have to tell you this, brother, you are a great man. And you can be a future leader in South Sudan. And you are a lawyer. There are many things you said yesterday that cannot go to court with anyone. The Greater Upper Nile region is a great region. You cannot just entirely say the region is one causing problem in South Sudan. That is not the politics we want. We know we are South Sudanese, and our leaders are our leaders. If you target the region, we know as a citizen, I'm a citizen of Jongkor, of Upper Nile. I know my region has been destroyed by this war. And I cannot say I want the same thing to happen in Barakazal. We want to salvage the little we have. And if we have such people, people like Agwad saying such thing, they keep polarizing people. And we don't want such thing to be coming from such people like great people like Agwad. And that is the point I was interested to join yesterday. And if I could have joined, maybe I could have spoken different word. But today I saw you there. We need to advocate. If you support President Kiir, do it in a polite way and respect other opinion. People with Riek Machar, I appreciate them for holding their political view. They know why they believe in Riek Machar, and we must respect them. Those who believe in Kiir, they have reason why they support. What we need to contest, we go for a contest, and then we will see who will win. This is the politics we want in South Sudan. And I appreciate if you have anything to ask me, that is okay. If nothing, I will say thank you. So I will say thank you to my fellow South Sudanese, and we have to be hopeful. We don't need to lose hope. We will lose hope if we keep quiet, because our leaders listen. If they're now in Juba, they will listen to this. They know what is happening in South Sudan is not right. And I have to tell you this, the worry in Juba, the most worrying thing in Juba, like you said earlier, no coup happened in Juba. We have to say this. Is what I believe. It was a political struggle. And they know the killing has been in vain. The killing has been in vain. No one won the war. The Riek Machar is still alive. He can still direct his army. Like now in South Africa, you can let his force go and fight around Juba. And he's in South Africa. You know? That's why we say the problem has not been solved. Otherwise, thank you very much. And for the people, our brothers who were in Khartoum, those who were in the villages, we have all contributed to our liberation struggle. And when we say we want to get other people out, this is why you see some people want to fight their freedom. If you say you liberate certain people, they will also say we want to fight to liberate ourselves. That is the message to our fellow South Sudanese who got an opportunity to be part of a liberation struggle, physical liberation struggle. Don't thumb your chair that you have liberated other people who were not there. You don't know what they were doing in Khartoum. You don't know what they were doing in the villages. We need to be humble enough. And then what I need to tell to the generation of President Kiir, you have liberated the country, but you were not, you didn't liberate the country so that you can be rewarded. And what has been happening, the money that has been stolen or that has been lost, I can say, is because some people accommodate their interests. They have given themselves contract and everything so that they can control the power, control the money, resources, and that's all. So I appreciate. Thank you, Agwot, for an apology. That is good. Thank you very much.
Well, Manyang, nothing else I can say because you said everything, brother. That's the spirit. Like I said from the beginning, we can disagree and we need to be an open-minded people. That's what intellectual citizen can do. Being an open-minded without feeling threatened with the view of your others. That's what we want. And we need to talk to our people who have been driven by emotion. By the way, our people sometimes have been driven by emotion. They don't know what is right and what is wrong. They don't even know their rights. And that's why they're just taking a side without knowing, Thank you so much. There is nothing I can respond to whatever you said. You said everything, all. Let us keep this spirit and let us keep continuing. We want to see South Sudan that we have been dreaming of.
Thank you, brother.
We want to see it prosper, stable, like any other rest of the world. We are tired, Thank you, Manyang. Thank you so much, for coming in today.
Yep, thank you very much, brother.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, what are words? That's what concerned citizen can do, Very impressive, Very, very impressive. I'm going to go ahead and see here if someone else requested. I believe so. Makwet, you requested me for long. I'm going to go ahead and bring you in, brother, and we can share a few too as well. Let me see here if you are available. I'm calling you now, Makwet Akok. I hope you are there. I hope someone in Juba, but I know they're going to scare anyway, will be part of this discussion as well. I'm calling you Makwet. Maket, sorry. I said it wrong. Maket. Maket, I'm calling you. Maket, if you see that, please go ahead and answer. And I don't know your Edward, your status today. So you out of work or you still working? I don't know, because I really, really wanted to bring you this discussion. So important. So it looked like Maket is not responding. I'm going to go ahead and to Brother Joseph. Joseph, I'm calling you right now. Yeah, I will call you, brother, as well. Jigo, I will call you, yes. So I'm calling Joseph, but it looked like Joseph is not responding. Okay, I'm going to go ahead for Jigo here. I apologize, Jigo. So I'm calling you right now.
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
Good. I'm sorry. I apologize because, you are down.
I can't hear you.
There.
I can't hear
you. Now you cannot hear me as well? Really? I think maybe if you do it without microphone, it would be better. I hear you very well.
I can't hear you. I got Nasmak.
Yeah, Jamal, does everybody hear me?
I will. أنا ما قاعد نسمعك لكن أنا بقفل إنت أعمل لي كول تاني مرة.
Okay, I will do it. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, you are not hearing me, brother. Let me go ahead and try that Jigo again. Okay.
الو
انت سامعني كده؟
ايوه انا بقى سامع خلاص.
Okay, maybe something went wrong from the beginning.
ان شاء الله
Okay.
كويس.
الحمد لله brother.
تمام
الحمد لله.
ايوه
Of course هنا قاعدين نتكلم في ايشو يعني ايشو بتاع بلدنا وده ايشو مهم جدا جدا. بما انت شفت التوبيك هناك.
لا انا ما شفت التوبيك، بس انا دخلت طوال كده يعني، بس يعني فالتوبيك بتاع شنو؟
ولقيت منيان كان قاعد يتكلم طبعا رايت؟
لا ما لقيت اي حاجه، بس انا بس دخلت الصدفه كده يعني.
اوكي.
يا بس
ولا
بس
قاعدين نتكلم في تكثيف الجهود انه مثلا what can citizen يا رول بتاعنا we need to push hard لان our people have suffered for so long and that's why we need your contribution as well, you know.
So what is the topic?
The topic actually, like I said, you know, it was right there, I put there. لأنه leader بتاعنا they are fearing potential indictment. That's why they are, you know, delaying the process of peace, you know. But what can we do to attract them, you know, to make them actually not to fear, you know, to let the peace take place?
ايوه اوكي alright. So يعني فعلا بالنسبه لل you know, as far as like how to bring the peace, this is what you try to say, or what is the role of the citizens that are concerned to push forward so that they can bring peace, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
لأنه في خوف زي ما أنا قلت لك، في خوف من ناس ديل للجرائم اللي عملوا لحجار البطالة اللي عملوا له سلام جو بقى في محاكم. So عشان كده they are delaying everything because people are worried. They are worried. But what courage can we give them? You know, what promise can we give them? So عشان سلام ده يجي بأي طريقة.
والله طبعا يعني السلام ده هو يعني السلام عشان يكون في سلام حقيقي كده لازم يكون سلام من الشعب، يعني مش سلام من يعني من الحكومة. حكومة ما بيجيب سلام. حكومة يعني احنا من استقلال بتاع السودان عامة، حكومة ما في يوم كده جاب سلام. حاجة واضح جدا يعني. من في بداية هناك يعني من سنة 55 لحد هسه حاليا انت لو لاحظت يعني في اكثر من 56 اتفاقيات وقعت بس بين الحزب والحكومة او المعارضة والحكومة فقط. يعني ما الشعب ما عندهم اي دور فوقه، ولحد هسه احنا لسه بنعاني من هذه المشكلة. يعني احنا ادينا ثقة كبير جدا جدا يعني اكبر من طاقتنا يعني للحكومة او للمعارضة. فاحنا قلنا يمكن هم بيجيبوا سلام. لا، ناس ما بيجيبوا سلام. شفتها؟ يعني هم بيخطوا السلام على حسب يعني الانترست بتاعهم. يعني اي حاجه بيجي عكس من برنامج بتاعهم يعني اللي هم عايزين يعملوا، هم يعني ما بقبل. انت مثلا زور شعب عادي جدا، انت عايز سلام، عايز تمشي بلدك، عايز تقعد، عايز تمشي تزرع، يعني انا متاكد معظم من يعني 90% من سودانيس او من جنوب السودان المواطنين العاديين ما يهموا حاجه في الحكومه. الناس دايرين تقعد، دايرين تعيش، دايرين تزرع، دايرين يعني دايرين يعني تنجح في الحياه.
So جيجو
دقيقه بس، دقيقه انا جاي
رسالة بتاعك هسه الان، رسالة بتاعك لان نحن في ايام الاخيره ربما مثلا الوفد بتاع المعارضه المسلحه والغير مسلحه والحكومه هيرجعوا اديس ابابا بعد اسبوعين ولا اول في شهر 2. انت الايميديت مسج بتاعك لمعارضه لحكومه لان الناس تعبت، ايميديت مسج بتاعك ده تقول شنو؟ عشان مثلا
المسج بتاعي كالاتي، يعني هم اساسا الحكومه هم فاشلين، هم ما بقدروا يجيبوا السلام. يعني لو هم عايزين يجيبوا السلام لازم هم يلجأوا لمنو؟ للمواطنين. يسأل المواطنين يقول انتم عايزين شنو؟ هذا واضح. هذا مش هذا انا بقول مثلا مسج هنا بنتعب دائما بنتكلم هنا، لكن هنا بنعتقد انه الحكومه ممكن تجيب السلام. الحكومه ما بتجيب السلام، الشعب هم اللي بيجيبوا السلام. يعني الشعب كله، شعب جنوب السودان كلهم لو هم قعدوا ومشوا هناك في مثلا في اديس ابابا يعني ككميه كبيره جدا جدا وكلم للحكومه، لازم الحكومه يعني تجيب السلام، او يعني في جزء من يعني الميكانيزم ده كان بيوز. يعني فور اكزامبل الشعب في جنوب السودان يوم من الايام ممكن ما يطلع برا ذاته، ما يمشي شغل، يكون في بيته، يقعد في بيته يقول يا اخي يا حكومه انت تعبتنا، انت ما عايز تجيب سلام. شفتها؟ الناس يقعد جوا البيت ما يمشي شغل. شوف الحكومه يسوي شنو؟ الحكومه يجي بالاسلحه يجي يقتلهم في بيتهم، خليه يقتلهم. حكومه هسه احنا بنقول حكومه دي بيجيب سلام. انا هسه اكلمك يا هو، حكومه ما بيجيب سلام خالص، ما حصل في السودان عامه وما بيحصل في جنوب السودان الا اذا الشعب نفسه توحدوا واتكلموا بكلمه واحد يقول لا احنا كده خلاص كفايه. يا حكومه انت لو قدرت تقتلنا خلاص اقتلنا مره واحد، وانت حاكم ناس انت قدرت تحكمهم، الناس تقعد في البيت، ناس تسوي مظاهرات. شفت
جيجو
ده هو
مع
الحل.
الشعب ما يتشرد.
دقيقه بس
دقيقه ده اقول لك حاجه، الشعب ما يتشرد. الشعب يا نص في اثيوبيا والنص في يوغندا والنص في كونغو والنص في السودان، الشعب ما يتشرد في البلد يا
لا ما انا اقول لك
يا الشعب هيطلع برا.
الشعب الموجود في جنوب السودان حاليا في جوبا في واو في ملكال في اي مكان اللي هم قاعدين دل الشعب اللي بيجيبوا السلام. الناس اللي مشوا البر هناك دي الناس هم مشوا لانه الناس اللي كان يعني مستهدفين، بس الناس اللي ما مستهدفين الحسب في يعني في جوبا هناك مثلا خايفين يقولوا الحكومه ده ممكن يسوي لهم حاجه، ولا هم كان يوم من الايام مع الحكومه ولا شنو، هم الناس اللي بيجيبوا السلام. والناس اللي برا يعمل مظاهرات يمشي في وين؟ يمشي يعني في السفاره السودانيه، السفاره بتاع جنوب السودان مثلا موجود في اوغندا في كينيا وين، نمشي تعمل مظاهرات هناك يقول يا عمي خلاص كفايه انت جيب سلام، انسى اي حاجه، لانه السلام الحقيقه بيجي من الشعب. السلام الحقيقه ما بيجي، ما حصل يوم من الايام السلام جاء من حكومه، ما بيجي. This is very very clear message. شفتها؟ لكن السودانيين المشكله بتاعنا بتاع الجنوبيين احنا يعني خدتنا ثقه كبير جدا يعني القاده بتاعنا ناس فاشلين ما بيجيب سلام. وريني كده قول لي في يوم من الايام السودان عامه ده عمل سلام، ما عمل سلام. وين؟ يا مشكله مثلا في في الشمال هناك مشكله بتاع دارفور يا مولع، مشكله بتاع انقاسنا مولع، في جنوب كردفان مولع، في الشمال ذاته لسه مشكله، ما في سلام. سو احنا ما نخش نفسنا. الحل الوحيد الناس بتفهم، الناس تلجا للحلول الشعبيه. الشعب لما يقوم يمشي يعني زي نهر النيل لما يمشي من يعني ماشي للشمال كده، ما في زول بيقدر يرجعه. هذا نهر ما بتقدر تقفله خالص، لكن احنا بنتعب هنا. شفت هسه يا في شهر 2 يا جاء شهر 1 ده جاء الناس دي يمشي هناك. يعني الرئيس كان قبل ايام بيتكلم يقول ما عايز اي سلام اللي بيجيبوه من برا. السلام اللي بيجيبوه من برا ده مش ما دي انتم الشعب يا دايرين السلام الحقيقي، لكن الحكومه ما بيجيب السلام. شفتها؟ الحل اللي انا بشوف انه الاساس انه حكومه في هذا المره يعني في الاسبوع اللي جاء ولا شنو كان مشى في يعني في اديس ابابا هناك وفشل يعني ما قادر يجيب السلام. الشعب لازم يقوم، ده الدور بتاع الشعب، لانه الاجيال هسه مشكله. احنا يعني الحرب ده حصل في جنوب السودان، شتت الناس وبعدين شتت عقول بتاع الناس ذاته بنفسه. يعني خلى الناس بقى في مراحل انه كل واحد يقول انا من مجموعه كده وانا من مجموعه كده انا من مجموعه كده، وهسه الحكومه بقى هي مسيطر هي يقول الناس. الناس اللي انت بتقول بيجيب السلام ده من وين ده؟ دي ناس في جوبا، دي ناس في ملكال، دي ناس في بور، دي ناس في واو، دي ناس في يي، دي ناس في توريد محلات ديل الناس اللي بيجيبوا السلام. يرفع يدهم يقول يا حكومه خلاص انا تعبت، انا داير نقعد، انت داير تقتلني في جوب بيتي هنا، خلاص ما الناس دول بيموتوا عشان يجيبوا السلام. لكن انت قال السلام دي بيجي كده ساكت كده بس بيجي من هوا ساكت، لا. حكومه عنده طرزانات. شفتها؟ لو حكومه يعني الشعب دقت حكومه بيجيب سلام. حكومه خليه ما يخاف، حكومه ما يخليه يخاف يقول يا اخي بيجي يحطون في السجن وبيجي يعملون، لا. ما في ريكونسيليشن. شفتها؟ ريكونسيليشن دي بيجي كيف؟ بيجي لو الحكومه اعترف يقول خلاص احنا يا جماعه احنا متنا كثير، نجيب سلام. بعدين من هناك لما نيجي نعمل ريكونسيليشن الحقيقه بيجي بطريقه العداله. يعني لازم يكون في محكمه، وهذا المحكمه لما يحكم الانسان الناس ممكن ذات يعني بيامن يقول لا خلاص عشان يجينا السلام خلاص يعني خلوا زول هنا جنوبيين هنا ناس متوادئين يعني احنا بنهب مع بعض. ما في جنوب هنا قال قال باكر هنا يعني ناس لا ده بس عشان حب. لكن جنوب السودانيين من طبيعه بتاعهم الاصليين ناس كرماء. احنا ما بنهب نأذي اي واحد ثاني. بس حكومه هسه هو يا برجل الموجوده.
اوكي انا بشكرك يا
الرساله
برادر جيكو
الكونتريبيوشن
بتاعك.
الرساله البدايه اللي انا بيقول انه يعني برغم انه انا لسه متشائم انه يعني في سلام وده كلام الحقيقه. انا بقول لك انت هتربط خشمي بعدين زي ما انا بقول لك الشعب هو الحل الوحيد اللي بيجيب سلام في جنوب السودان. اكثر من هذا حكومه ما بيجيب سلام. وده اللي هو المسج. فانا متاكد انتم من الجماعه كل يوم بيكون في فيسبوك ولا شنو هاي، لا انتم بتتكلم يعني تخلي الشعب يعمل ضغط للحكومه، مش الحكومه يجيب سلام على حسب الهوايه. لا الشعب، لانه هو بيقول هو داير يحكم الشعب. انت تحكم الشعب كيف؟ ما انت تحكم الشعب على اساس انه الشعب بيقول لك يا اخي انت هذا كونتراكت. It's a contract between us and the government. This is why we contracted. We say we the people of Southern Sudan عايزين انت الحكومه تكون تحكمنا بالعداله كده وكده كده. It's a contract. It's not other way around.
اوكي انا بشكرك شديد يا جيجو لانه الكلام بتاعك كلام كويس، مداخله تمام. اوف كورس نحن طبعا في السوشيال ميديا بنتكلم كل يوم، نحن بنعمل اديكيت لهنا للشعب عشان يقدر يعرف حقوقه، لانه الشعب بتاعنا شعب مغلوب على حاله والناس ما عارفين. نحن كنا في السودان وطلعنا من السودان من كلام الظلم والطغيان اللي كان حاصل، فالشعب ما بيعرف. عشان الشعب يطلع ده هيكون صعب، لانه طبعا we are under the military rule. فشكرا جزيلا برادر جيجو للكونتريبيوشن بتاعك ولكلماتك اللي انت كلمته. كل زول طبعا عنده رول to play. So let me go ahead here and check brother Edward if he's still available عشان يقدر ينايدا. You may comment as well. Hey Edward, I'm calling you. Ustaz Edward, please. انت جيت من الشغل الحمد لله. I know. المهم هنا جرينا وموضوع مهم جدا جدا، وانت شفت الناس يعني متجاوبين كيف، ودي حاجه كويسه يا ايدو، لان طبعا ما وقفنا. وزي ما بريزيدنت بوش قال يوم ذاك، قال America has never been united by blood but by ideas. شفت الافكار اللي بوحدنا ما ببلاد. لما نقول يا اخي نحن نقتل ليل ونحن قويين ونحن كير ولا ديل قويين by blood. The same thing. President Obama انا بشيل امثال منهم ليه؟ لان دي امثال الناس ماشيين لقدام. President Obama قال شنو؟ قال change بيبدا من زول واحد. If you can change the room you can change the house, and if you can change the house you can change the neighborhood, and if you can change the neighborhood you can change the city, and you can change the state, and you can change the country. That's how it started. I know in the الناس يعني they are moved by emotion، بيكون عندهم اتجاه واحد. لكن لما يكون في برنامج توعية، برنامج ده بخلي الناس يفهموا what is going on ويقدر يعرف حقوق بتاعهم. فده I think نحن ماشيين المنوال ده، وده منوال كويس. ضروري جدا جدا نجيبك يا استاذ ادوارد عشان تقدر مثلا يعني تخش يعني بكونتريبيوشن بتاعك. تفضل يا برادر.
Yeah, thank you. شكرا لك brother Jongkor. Just my greeting to all brothers and friends and comrades online. Also hi Abdullah قرن ان شاء الله انت كويس. بالمناسبه شكرا لك يا كومراد جونكور، وانا بشكر الناس اللي داخلوا كلهم. يعني انا قاعد، انا متابع ما شغال الليله، انا قاعد مجيب المتابع النقاش. بجد يعني نحن انت يعني مشيت كويس ونحن ماشيين كويسين. في زي ما انت بديت في بدايه، يعني انت ضربت مثل بجورج واشنطن the late founder بتاعت امريكا وكده، وكذلك انت ضربت مثل مع نيلسون مانديلا المؤسس برضه بعد ما حقق الثوره. يعني يمكن برضه نحن يعني عندنا our late founder بتاع الحركة الشعبية دكتور جون جرن، ونحن فقدناه ده وعي لسه في مساب الحاصل في جنوب السودان. النقاشات كلها يعني في زول المنيان طبعا هو يتكلم كلام كويس جدا، والزول اللي قبله برضه يعني I'm in agreement with them في النقاش اللي هم مشوا فوقه.
جونكير
يا اللي انا داير اقوله في بعض النقاط انه يعني النقاش الدسكشن اللي بنعمله ده الدايلوج اللي بنعمله اونلاين is because ان احنا يعني الجنوبيين كلهم دايرين نعمل لهم awareness يعرفوا what is going on. النقطة الثانية برضو لو ناس لاحظت يعني بالإضافة لكلام الزول اللي اتكلم الأخير ده هسه، يعني لو ناس لاحظت من 2013 كل الجنوبيين they are divided based on tribe. في مشكلة كبيرة جدا إن كان in South Sudan or outside South Sudan. Europe, America, Australia, Canada, everywhere. South Sudanese now they are divided into tribe. Denka they are separate. Equatoria they separate themselves. Chulu, Nuer, كده أنواع مرلي وكده. فده بيصعب علينا نحن إنه الزول القبشية قاعد يتكلم إنه مثلا نحن اللي المواطنين ما يعملوا الثورة في جنوب السودان. الثورة دي ما هتنجح لأنه زي ما في واحد كتب قبل شوي نحن النظام الموجود في جوبا هي نظام عسكري يعني ما بيقبل بعقلية بتاعت إنه يكون في مظاهرات سلمية. يعني فهم بتاعت إنه مظاهرات سلمية، والحكومة قال الكلام ده بدري إنه they don't have these gas for يعني غاز يفرتقوا بها الناس ولا كده. عندهم live bullet. You get out you will be shot. So that why عشان كده أصلا هسه يعني ما في فكرة بتاعت المظاهرة ممكن تنجح في جوبا، لأنه أول حاجة في جوبا زاروا الناس منقسمين كقبائل. يعني تزارك ما تقدر تعمل موبلايزيشن للناس عشان تحاول تقول إنه نحن دايرين نناشد الناس ونطلع الشارع. يعني ما هتنجح. لكن الحتة اللي ممكن ينجح شنو؟ الممكن ينجح اننا قاعدين نعمله هسه انه نحن كجنوبيين يعني الحرب كفايه. فعلا النظام الموجود في جوبا وصلنا لغايه انه من الصعب تشيله، وكذلك حتى المعارضه ذاتها في جوانب ثانيه عندها ضوء في بعض الجوانب. رياض بشار مسجون في جنوب افريقيا وكده. فالكلام اللي تقول ده جونكور هو كلام سليم، انه نحن يعني كجنوبيين نحاول نضغط. القاعدين نعمله ده we are putting pressure on the government and on the opposition. They have to get on compromise point. يعني لازم يصلوا للمساومة السياسية. المساومة السياسية يصلوا له في المفاوضات الجاية في أديس أبابا، بحيث نحن ندي نفسنا لخلق نظام ديمقراطي في جنوب السودان خلال الفترة الجاية. يحصل مساومة سياسية، يوقفوا الحرب في كل جنوب السودان، الناس ترجع تعمل الحكومة الانتقالية، تأسس لجنة دستور، نمشي للمؤتمر الدستوري، نجيز دستور دائم لجنوب السودان، نمشي لانتخابات تحت رقابة دولية. بعد ذلك يحصل منافسة ما بين رياض مشار، بين سلفاكير، لاماكول، شيريلو، جانكور ذاته، عبد الله قرن، أي زول ثاني داير يتنافس بكون عنده حقية إنه أنت كمواطن جنوبي تحت حماية بتاع الدستور أنت ممكن تشارك في أي عملية انتخابية بكل النزاهه. فاي خطاب ثاني يعني انا كلام ده قاعد اقوله المره اللي فاتت انه اي دفاع ان احنا هسه ما معنيين ندافع. الوضع الناس اللي بيتكلموا قبل كلهم مننا متفقين الوضع الان في جنوب السودان بقى وصل يعني مراحل صعبه جدا، والناس اللي قاعدين برا الان يتأزمت ويتشرذمت. الناس اللي قاعدين برا هسه هم عارفين انه هم كل يوم بيرسلوا قروش، يعني صعبه. يعني انا هسه مش انا زول جديد برا، لكن the situation I'm seeing here really is very hard, you know, it's very hard and painful to everyone. People work day and night. This is what I'm doing now, you know. You don't have any chance. You need to work. In the morning, just sleep 3 hours or 4 hours, go back again, 2 jobs. This one is too hard. يعني لو ما ساعد كده الشغلة دي بمناسبة you can take your ticket and you run away from these countries, you know, but no option. لذلك نحن قاعدين نقول الضغط الموجود برا هنا ممكن تخف can be reduced just if we get peace in our country. That why نحن كجنوبيين أنا قاعد نقولوا إنه كلام اللي قاعد تعمل جانكور يصل وعي. في كلام وشيء كتب أقول كان بيقول إنه يا أخي الجنوبيين كلهم نحن محتاجين نعمل مؤتمر الناس الموجودين برا. الوضع is too early. نحن نعمل we will go to that point but it's too early for us because حتى الجنوبيين الموجودين برا لو انتوا لاحظتوا هسه بقى في improvement. في improvement في awareness نحن قاعدين نعمله في discussion اللي قاعدين نعمله online في تغييرات في نقاشات. معناه نحن محتاجين نطلع برا. We get out انه من الصوت قاعدين انت دينكا انت شلكاوي انت لاتوكاوي انت باري and we start thinking as South Sudanese. We are South Sudanese. We want to get solution for what happening in our country. What we need is looking ahead, and also we work hard for sustainability and also for development. We get chance for development. Our kids, our brothers, they go to school, they get good treatment, يعني good employment. حاجات دي كلها المشاريع project نحن كلها نصل لها. لكن هو المهم في رأينا كإدوار إنه نحن نستمر في الحوار، نستمر في نقاشات. والأهم في ده كله إنه نحن يعني ما نختلف، يكون في حركة شعبية في شنو في زول يدافع عن كير ما مشكلة، خليه هم مقتنعين what كير is doing is right. في ناس بيشوف إنه الكير اللي قاعد يعمله ده صح، كير ممكن يحكم. لكن التوبيك بتاعي عشان أنا أختم برضو اللي أنت قبل كنت قاعد أقول إنه فعلا كير هو كنا بنفتكره هو يعني أنا ما قاعد أفتكر إنه كير لأنه ما مؤسس لحركة شعبية. كير ما مؤسس. people should be clear on this point. ناس برضو ما نعمل misleading لبعض الحاجات يصل ما موجوده في الواقع. نحن فعلا كير دكتور جونكور هو المؤسس بتاع الحركه ودكتور كير failed because he doesn't know what دكتور جونكور was doing. هو ما كان عارف انه قرن ده قاعد يعمل في شنو because لو كير مثلا هو كان بيعرف what دكتور جون was doing وعنده فيجن بتاع قرن pulling apart اللي قاعد يحصل هسه في جنوب السودان should not happen because already you are a mature person and he knows what it means to build a country, you know, and you just for long war get the peace agreement to build a country to go ahead. لكن هو لانه ما كان يعني ما ملم ببعض الحاجات وفعلا هو واحد من القيادات وقدر الدكتور مات ما في خيار الناس ديل جابوا كير كرئيس. طلع البلد هو بشوف انه لسه الرغبات هو ما يتشبع اللي هو داير انه يحكم البلد السلطه النجده والمال والكده واي حاجه وده لسه هو شايف انه نو ده لسه. لكن يعني انا في رايي الوضع المشابه بلد هسه لو مثلا اللي انا كنت بعرف انه هو ممكن كان يقدم تنازل هو
go ahead
هو يتنازل ويدي فرصه.
سوري يا في حاجه كده حصل.
تفضل.
go ahead
فهو كان ممكن يعني مثلا هسه it's too late لكن برضه يعني nothing we can do. حتى لو ليله كير قال انه يقدم استقالته الكير المحاكم ما يقوم يخليه. الحصل في لايبيريا في زول قبيل انا شايفه ضرب مثل بكيس بتاع لايبيريا. الناس طبعا لازم يقروا التاريخ.
انا كلمت فيه
اللايبيريا هسه فعلا كان في حرب وطلعت وشارل ستايلر وين مش في لاهاي. شارل ستايلر الان في لاهاي بيحاكم كواحد من المجرمين بتاع الحروب قتل شعبه وخلق فتنه قبليه داخل القبائل. that while كير الان حتى لو حصل سلام يعني هنا قاعدين نتكلم انه سوف يتم محاكمه المرتكبين بتاع الجرائم بتاع الحرب. يعني اي زول ارتكب جريمه بتاع حرب بتاع جنوب السودان لازم يحاكم. ليه لازم يحاكم؟ انا خلونا اجاوب على الحته دي. لازم يحاكم لانه نحن ما دايرين انه يتكرر حاجات زي دي في المستقبل القريب في جنوب السودان. لانه كل اي زول بكره اي سياسي في جنوب السودان لو جاء سلام الليله ما لقى رغباته مثلا انا عينوني وزير ومثلا افترض انت جونكور الرئيس وشلتني برا طوال انا بمشي بربي قبيلتي بكون لي ميليشيا مش انا will go and form militia and start destructing the country or fighting against the country. ده بنحتاج انه نحن ما دايرين حاجات زي دي يحصل لقدام for long time. لذلك فنحن محتاجين انه اي زول من 2013 ارتكب جريمه ولو نرجع للورا في حق بتاع شعب جنوب السودان في حق مواطني جنوب السودان لازم يتحاكم. يمشي محكمه كل يمشي يبرر نفسه لقدام المحكمه. ومن هنا بنعمل الكلام ده عشان نحن ندي فرصه لنفسنا نقدر نعيش في سلام نخلق مجتمع متسالم. يعني الجراحات الموجوده في وسط بتاعنا كجنوبيين نحاول نتخلص منها لانه هنا ما نقدر نتخلص من ده وما نقدر نكون ثابتين ما نرجع للحرب اذا هنا ما دخلنا المحاكم. لازم القيادات تتحاكم رياض كلمشي لهاي كلي يقول انه انا ما كلي يبرر نفسه، سلفا كلي يمشي يبرر نفسه، اي زول ثاني كلي يمشي يبرر نفسه، عشان ده يكون هبره لاي زول جاي لجنوب السودان اي غايه سياسي على مستوى جنوب السودان، انه نتيجه انه مثلا هاي طموحاتها الشخصيه ما يغطي على الطموحات بتاعت الشعب، او ما يغطي على الامال بتاعت الشعب وتقوم تخرب البلد وتدمر البلد. فده النقاط اللي انا قاعد افتكر انه نحن نستمر في الحوارات. وانا بشكرك يا استاذ جونكور، دي جود جوب. نستمر في نقاشات. في النهايه نحن يعني يحصل عمليه كورسبوندينج تقاطعات بيناتنا كلنا، والناس اللي بيشوفوا نفسهم كجنوبيين كمثقفين جنوبيين بهمهم اللي قاعد يحصل في جنوب السودان and they are fighting for change, so we can come together. نحن ممكن نعمل مؤتمر ونبدا نستغله نجي على اساس نحن كلنا كجنوبيين بكل الوانتين بتاعنا المختلفه، انت تابع لمنو تابع منو، نحن نجيف كجنوبيين ونحاول نفكر انه السلام ده عشان يكون فيه sustainability. كلام ده هيجي كيف؟ سلام هيجي. انا هاي فعلا الناس دي هسه بمناسبه لمعلوماتكم، الناس دي يمشوا للمفاوضات شهر واحد هسه ايامات الجايه، والناس دي بضغوطات من امريكا هم يوقعوا الحكومه بتاع جوبا كير بمناسبه هم ما يقبلوا انه يحصل، لانه بلد اصل الانهار خلاص ما في حاجه. والمرحله الجايه المجتمع الدولي يعني ما نقول انه ممكن يسيبوا الناس ويستمر، لانهم ياو الاغاثه الموجوده الان البرايه وفي ناس دي كلها المسؤوليه دي تقعت المجتمع الدولي. على يحصل انه بيتم فرض، على يتم اجبار الحكومه والمعارضه وبيجيبوا لهم اتفاق زي ما جابوا لهم بتاع ورقه الجرار الامنيه وبيوقع عليه. You need to sign it and they will sign it. لكن هيمشوا بتقاين وصراعات سياسيه موجوده في نفوسهم، هيرجعوا جوبا ثاني، هيكون في مؤامرات وكل زول هيبدا يخطط في اتجاه زول ثاني، القتل للتصفيات السياسيه يستمر، هيكون في قتل لسه مستمر ده كله. فنحن بنحتاج انه نشتغل انه كمواطنين بتاع جنوب السودان الموجودين في خارج، عندنا فرصه نتكلم. في ناس في جوبا ما عندهم فرصه، يعني انت قلت قبل الناس اللي ما قاعد يخشوا جوبا ديل في جوبا ما قاعد يخشوا في النقاش، لانه هم اصلا يعني انت لو زول من جوبا ساقط دخلت على الليل وقدمت نقل حكومه بكره بيجوك بالليل، يعني unknown gunman ده بيجيك. So Nazil, we don't want to put them in the risk because also we need them as our brothers. They're the only one remain. So for us نحن المواطنين اللي قاعدين برا we talk نتكلم ونطلع برا من الصوب بتاع القبائل، نطلع برا من الصوب بتاع دينكا شلوك نوير لاتوكا. وبكره طبعا عندنا نقاش، عندنا discussion tomorrow بكره نتكلم عن القبليه. that while انا ما كنت داير نصير النقاط دي، لكن احنا يا جنكور من الحاجات المهمه نركز عليه بالذات نحن الناس الموجودين في برا، الالتهاب الموجود في وسط بتاع في نفوس الناس والجنوبيين الموجودين في خارج لازم ننتهي من ده، ننتهي منها. الاساس let us start thinking we are South Sudanese. يعني انت فكر انا South Sudan. انا لما اقول انه كير is wrong it's not because انا عندي مشكله مع كير. No, Kir is my president. Kir is my president. Riek was our vice president or is our leader now. Dr. Lama Cole is our leader. Shirilo is our leader. كل الناس ديل despite on what happened. لكن نحن لما نيجي نفكر برا نحن كجنوبيين ما نفكر كقبائل، ما نفكر كدينكا ولا كشلوك ولا كنوير. وانا قاعد اقول الكلام ده دائما للناس في نقاش انه لما تقدم نقد، لما نحن نناقش الوضع اللي قاعد يحصل في جنوب السودان ما نناقش انه قاعد يحصل في جنوب السودان ده دينكا ولا القاعد يحصل في جنوب السودان ده نوير ولا القاعد يحصل في جنوب السودان باريا ولا لاتوكا. نو، القاعد يحصل الان في جنوب السودان ده حكومه تاكير، حكومه بتاع الناس مجموعه من انتهازين عندهم مصالح في السلطه ما بهمهم ما دينكا ده جعانين شلوك
من كل قبائل
باريا جعانين ال 64 قبيله كلهم الان جعانين في مستوى جنوب السودان. يا واسك انت لو مشيت ماشي من برا الناس قاعدين شدين ميل شايل كم دولارات انت زارك you will start crying because what you will see. يعني في ناس مرات in Facebook they talk nonsense. I forgive them because they don't know what is going on in South Sudan. But now if they went to Juba and they see what is going on you will start crying, you know. يعني إذا كان مثلا يا أساني هنا ناس برا you can eat 3 meal 4 5 مش. But in Juba, people live in one.
Anytime you want to eat, you can eat.
You can eat. But in Juba now, it's difficult for the people to get one meal. So why some people they are fueling? Why we are fueling the conflict? Oh, Shuluk, Denka, Nuer, Latuka. No. الشغل ده بتاع صراع بتاع السلطة بتاعت ناس دايرين يحافظ على المصالح بتاعهم، يالهم في يوغندا، يالهم في كينيا، يالهم في امريكا، يالهم في استراليا. ده ما عنده علاقه بالدينكا ولا بشلوك. هاي صح، في قيادات من دينكا دايرين يستغلوا الدينكا. They want to use Denka, their brother from Denka, to maintain them in the power, like others in Shuluk, in Baria, in Latuka, in this. And this is what's happening in South Sudan. The real description of the real situation, what is going on in South Sudan. فأنا بشكرك يا كومراد جونكور. أنا هنا بكرة نناقش بالشكل الأوسع يعني مشكلة بتاع القبلية، ونحن نضع حلول اللي بيحصل شنو. ولا أنا داير نوعد بقى الناس اللي قاعدين في البومبر هنا. Those people that are watching here. What we are doing on live is not a joke. We are not joking here. And we know we are not wasting our time. When we come online, we mean it. We mean it, we mean it, and we are working for it. We mean we want to come get line. We want to talk about what happened in South Sudan. We want to make awareness to our people in South Sudan. We want to reach the common point. When we are talking, we are not Denka, we are not Shuluk, we are not Nue, we are not Latuka. We are talking as South Sudanese people. And we mean this. And at the end of all this, we will get in the common point. For those that are talking about the conference, we will reach that point. But it's not right now. Thank you, brother Jongkor.
أنا بشكرك يا أستاذ إدوارد. كل الشكر لكلماتك ولتشجيع ولكلام الكويس اللي أنت قلته كله. This is the spirit. This is the spirit that we need. And by the way, we are making big difference. A lot of people don't see that, but it's happening. زي ما أنت قلت قبل زمان الناس كان في طريقة تانية، لكن الناس people there is sense of coming together. There is sense of unity start coming right now. That's what we want actually. At the end of the day, we are all belong together. We are all South Sudanese, and we should be proud first and most. إنه الكيس of South Sudan ده بكون our priority. ده بكون عنده أولوية ما قبيلة ولا أي كلام تاني. أنا من member ده we wanted to encourage these leaders. زي ما أنت قلت قبل ماشي بتوم الجاي ده يكون focus بتوم to negotiate the system and negotiate إنه مثلا يكون في constitution conference كيف يحكم السودان وليس من يحكم جنوب السودان. لأن بالمنوال ده البلد هيطلع لبرلمان. Without that نحن هنرجع تاني لبلوى اللي احنا كنا فيه. يا جماعة الزمن مشى خلاص. I'm so sorry we spent 4 hours. I supposed to bring in more people, but I'm not gonna do that. لأنه هسه باقي we spent like almost 4 hours. And I know that you're going to come in tomorrow, Brother Edward. I will looking for that. عشان نناقش لأنه القضية بتاع القبلية دي قضية مثلا crucial. and ده موضوع دمرنا في جنوب السودان. شكرا جزيلا لمداخلتك ولكلماتك مثلا مشجعة ولي يعني كلام القيم اللي أنت تقوله ده. أشوفك إن شاء الله مثلا في بعد ساعات إن شاء الله في الشو بتاعك. We will enjoy together. Thank you, Edward.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you. You have a.
أنا بشكركم يا جماعة لأن الزمن مشى. وخلاص it look like I have like 2 more minutes and I don't know if I bring someone in it's not gonna finish his thought and I apologize لأنه we spend a lot of time and we spend quite a bit of time today talking together. That what concerned citizen can do. نحن do not be moved by emotion. Don't worry about emotion. لو خالك ولا عمتك ولا قبيلتك ولا قريبك مثلا في الحكومة don't see that everything is okay. Everything is not okay. شوف the way people are living in the Western world. خواجاتهم قبائل. خواجات went through all these difficulties. لكن at the end of the day they realized that كان انت Italian ولا كان انت Greek ولا كان انت من برتغال ولا كان انت Ian من British ولا كان انت من Irish. At the end of the day they have to agree for the common purpose. That's what formed the countries, you know. خواجات انتوا شايفينه دل في مناطق كلها هم قبائل برغم انه مثلا عندهم جرين ايز عندهم بلو ايز ولونهم ابيض لكنهم قبائل عندهم لغات مختلفه. الناس اللي في فنلند ناو بيتكلموا اللغه الفنلنديه، الناس اللي في دنمارك بيتكلم دانش، الناس اللي في فرنسا بيتكلم فرنسي، الناس اللي في البرتغال بيتكلم برتغالي، ايطاليين بيتكلم ايطاليان، جريك بيتكلم جريك، وهكذا. الدول الاوروبيه دي كلها قبائل لكن you know they got it. They know that القبيله يوديك وين. At the end of the day هنا كلنا سود وهنا كلنا جنوبيين وكلنا ناس نفسه. I will leave you with my favorite song, you know. Salam alaikum. Inshallah I will see you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in today.